Wonderful.
Alright.
There.
You're recording?
Yeah.
So, y'all returned to the AL from an adventure out into the deep ethereal plane, which proved to be very interesting, especially for a handful of you all. Ashi in particular, noticing that, well, nothing seemed different until she got back, where she then encountered Leonidas, who pointed out just what she had gained and how to use it. Eliwick as well has gone through a few changes, a bunch that are quite unexpected, but will be very handy in the coming future. Particularly that she made something she was not supposed to. So she got to keep one.
Article of clothing, woven with either.
Yes. And then we have Julia, who's still passed out. And then the rest of you all. So, heading back in, what do you guys do?
Could I get like an estimate on how long Julia will be out for?
Roll medicine?
Ashi could help with that, given the fact that
Is it knowledge or treatment?
Be knowledge.
Knowledge.
To figure out. The treatment would be to try to wake her up.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Ashi would also likely get an estimate of that because, you know, she likes Julia.
I'll try because why not?
Medicine.
Go. There you are.
Alright, so
No, let's
3
not
plus...
roll that in the character sheet area.
Would be nice.
Wow.
Yep, she's out cold.
33.
Great start, Avery. Great start.
So, two of you take a look at her. Technically E3, but Lunari's kind of takes one look like, she'll live. And Luan, you have no idea how long she'll be out, but from what you can see, she appears to be fine, physically speaking.
Right.
You also see that she's perfectly fine, she's just unconscious. Whatever she did out there effectively, like scattered her mind. So it's like rebooting.
So having
She seems to have nothing wrong with her.
Alright, but having
She'll wake up when she wakes up.
Yeah, so prior experience seeing a lot of lights go out, and it wouldn't give me like probably within a couple of days.
Idea.
Gotcha.
In that case, I will spend. Can I spend? I know all conjuration spells. I think. According to this.
Yeah. Ashi with this kind of voice, but Ashi with this kind of.
You've never seen anything like this before, as in like what caused it. So you have no clue how long it'll be, or essentially any means of which that may be able to remove it.
Ashi would.
Actually, you have no clue because it's well, what do you do about something you've never seen before?
Yeah, she does have the one clue that you said, which is looks like whatever she did, it's scattered her mind a bit, so it's rebooting, or so she's trying to regather it. I don't know when she'll wake up, but should happen sometime, I guess soon.
Just
While
as like
this is
didn't pick her up. I'll carry you then.
Oh yeah, we have justice. Never mind. I was gonna cast Tensor's floating disc, but yeah, we have freaking justice. If I were to guess, she'd be... Well, yeah, at least it's not serious, but she'll wake up when she does.
Fine. It's most bothersome, though.
Unfortunate, yes.
Yes, and then we get right there. Oh, she's gonna stick by... Where's Takuma? There. Like... Boop! And Eliwick go... kind of in the middle there to see what's going on. It'd probably be fine to put the custom dress in the bag of holding, right? Like, at least they would have expressed that. Yeah. Goodies.
And for all intents and purposes, it's just a normal object.
Yeah.
So as you return to the lightning core, you all kind of like look up at it, and it's kind of impressive just looking at this thing. As you watch it, the lightning crystal in the center spins ridiculously fast, suspended somehow. And as it spins, it creates energy with lightning zapping off of it in all directions. Ruby kind of like looks over the thing, brings her hands to her side. Well, we've managed to start it up, but now to open it, that's gonna be tricky.
What's the tricky part?
Malt here is the expert of this sort of place.
Ruby then responds to that. Manipulating technology that we've never seen before.
Yeah, because it's... A mold would probably have... Well, actually no, she wouldn't have an idea. Let's see. Spider Queen wouldn't have seen this, would she?
What?
The Spider Queen wouldn't have seen this, would she?
Well, unless she's been into the bag of an AL.
Well, I don't think she ever said that she was, so...
Do you need me to help? Eliwick asks.
Ruby kind of like looks over. Unless you know how to open this, probably not. So Ruby like looks it over for like a few minutes, you know, effectively looking over the different inputs. And she just kind of like, well, I'm not entirely sure what to do because playing with these is probably not a good idea.
And you don't know Idemalt?
Well, just kind of brings a hand to her chin. This is very sophisticated technology. It's quite clear that there is a way to shut it down, but it's more so how precisely is that done. It was easy to do earlier because one of the inputs on the console was glowing, effectively like an emergency shutdown. Though Ruby just tried that, and it didn't work this time. So there's another way, apparently.
Actually, would I have... Is this similar to what the AAL that Geralt shut Takuma shut down, and Minerva back on the other side of the world? Or is it a completely different system? Because I assume that my true self has told me of these.
Yeah. But he
Right.
hasn't exactly opened one up. He watched
Yeah.
Gerald do it, but it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, there's a difference between watching and doing and knowing.
Yeah.
So Ruby just kind of like gingerly tries different inputs on the console, noticing like which each does.
I'm guessing Belinda can't go far enough back to just cheat code that.
No, if you only go back a few centuries, this would be a couple thousand years.
Right.
Ashi speaks up. Could there be some sort of cheat sheet for codes that we could use?
Ruby kind of like looks around the room. Suffice to say, I would imagine that any instruction manual that once existed no longer exists now. Like, considering everything in the room's been obliterated. Like, this thing is only surviving because it had the shell that protected it.
Yeah.
Would Fiona know how to open one up?
Yeah, but would she tell you?
Yeah. And they've searched the back of the thing too, or?
Yeah.
You can't get around it, it's huge.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Fiona probably can help us.
Hey Fiona, how much is it worth for you to open it?
Amber's happiness, so priceless. Fuck.
So they're trying to get the lightning core out, but it's blocked off essentially. Yeah?
No, it's how do you do it?
Yeah.
It's clear that the control would do it, but it's like, okay, well, first time seeing a supercomputer, okay, turn it off and take it apart. Oh, well, how do you do that without breaking it or
Right.
blowing it up?
Right.
So this is like a fundamental lack of knowledge because there's no way to know. So Ruby tries like different things that she could think of for like over the next like 20 minutes before she just shrugs. Yeah, I got nothing. I ain't opening this thing up even if I wanted to.
Go over and look at to see if I see anything I can read that would help with figuring this out for me.
Essentially, any writing that would have been there before is no longer there. Everything has been stripped away except for literally the inputs, and nothing is labeled. You looking over, you see exactly why they're struggling. It's like, oh, you're playing Simon Says over here.
Could I technically cast Identify on it?
Technically?
Yeah. Because it says that you learn its properties and how to use them.
Sure.
I'm gonna try that.
All right.
Ritual cast freaking Identify on it. Let's see if this tells us anything.
So you go through the motions of trying to do so, and as you do, you realize that it's not working. It's been warded.
Can I try to push through the ward?
You can certainly try.
Fuck it, why not?
Make a sanity check.
I certainly have the sanity for this, but unless it's like a DC 300.
No, it's close. It's DC 299.
Fucking
What?
hell! Why are my sanity saves so garbage?
Yeah, they're consistently terrible.
Sanity, okay, so it's 59.
So as you like try to like push through the warding of it, you're met with just a wall of just force, mentally speaking. There's clearly a powerful spell that's protecting it, and you have to like back off and stop because you get immediate feedback after a few moments, and you're just like, oh, okay, that's a bad idea.
Mm.
Well,
What?
it was worth a shot, but clearly not going to work.
What happened to Han?
Suffice to say, the Alpidamos were very thorough with protecting this.
Yeah. This thing has a ridiculously powerful ward, protecting any and only all information contained within that one might read through the weave. My brain just almost got exploded just now.
Slay a sigh
don't-
there.
So don't try casting Identify.
Well, that's good to know. Elric then turns to Sakura. You wouldn't happen to know a way to get around this problem, would you? Your Highness? Highness?
She gives a slight shrug. I've read a bit about it, but it's a bit different than manipulating it. I'm kind of in the same boat as Red over here. She points at Ruby.
Well,
Well, that's just color-coded all of us.
I'm not actually going to, but I have half a mind to try the good old hit it, give it percussion therapy until it works.
I'd like to roll
Considering
insight.
these things explode, that's probably a bad idea.
I'd like to roll insight if she is entirely right about not knowing.
Insight.
Yeah. That would be.
I mean, I would
Oh, she
live if I
finished.
did the percussion therapy method.
Asha and Sakura and.
Hey, if punching it works for the if punching the jukebox works for the Fonz, it works for me. But I mean, I'm not Fonzie.
Wait, no, it's still a plus 14. Brrr. I was failed by every die. Again.
Well, as far as you can tell, she seems to be telling the truth.
Well, I don't see why she would lie about that anyway, but...
Yeah, just
So
making
Ruby
sure she's
just
not being
kinda,
like embarrassed.
Looks at it. Well, I think suffice to say we're gonna have to take it apart. Though this is beyond my ability, I am pretty sure I'd just break it. Because I know exactly one way to open this panel, and whatever's inside won't be very happy about it.
And probably blow us to bits too.
She then like looks to Malt. Well, this one's all you, Malt, because I've got nothing. At least nothing without risking all of us anyway. Malt gives us a soft nod. I shall see what I can do.
Wait,
She then looks over to Eliwick.
yeah.
I will need your assistance with this.
She just kind of perks up. Wait, it's been a few hours. Do you think I could try retrocog again?
You can certainly try.
Well, she's going to step. She's going to step forth and be like, and try and touch the panel and see if she
Make
can.
a sanity check.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Alrighty.
Why does this place have so much aim
Use one
or
inspiration.
whatever?
I have one inspiration, so I shall use it. Let's see, that's with expertise, so 20 plus 5 plus 2d10. How to operate? How to operate this? 23.
So you kind of close your eyes, focus within your mind's eye, and look back. And it's not more than a few moments that everything within your mind becomes fuzzy. Make a sanity save.
I am going to use a freaking. Can I use a fate charge on this actually?
Well, you'd see that she's trying to do something that could end badly.
You could have done it before if you wanted to, technically. So,
Yeah, true. Yeah, I was just mostly thinking because it's psionics. But yes, I will use a fate charge on this.
So
You
on
get
which
triple
one?
advantage.
so can I re-roll that?
Because Luan just fucking warned you.
Yes. Yeah, it's a little different. So she might have not thought nothing of it. So re-roll that that one. So that's,
Well, you're making a save, so it's too late to stop it.
okay, just wondering.
Yeah, you roll it at triple advantage. Save.
Triple advantage, so that's 4d20 KH1.
I love this freaking book.
Yeah, plus 5 plus 2d10. 7. Okay, that's a 34.
So you immediately just kind of stop trying as you feel essentially just your mind be overwhelmed with data. And you're like, okay, there is a lot of aether around in this area. And effectively, you know, aether is the power of creation. So essentially, you know, your imagination. So when you're trying to imagine and think back on what happened, you just absorbed all that aether like a sponge. And your mind's like, ah, get it out.
I also just realized that that my sanity modifier is too high in case that affected anything.
No.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's actually like DC 19.
Yeah, good luck with this.
Gotcha.
It's like you're up against like a bunch of aether that's been broken and essentially spilling into the air. The only reason why you guys are fine is you'd have to be here for a long time, like several days for it to start affecting you. Unless you were a god.
I'm sure I could probably brute force my way through all that data, but I can't without raising too many eyebrows.
You don't have retrocognition, so you couldn't do it even if you wanted to.
So a 36 on the sandy save, then.
So you're fine. You managed to just stop before it can become too overwhelming. But you got like a minor headache, which kind of just dissipates after a few moments. You're just like, wow, that's a lot.
Wow, that really is some powerful stuff. Psionics, I think, are supposed to be pretty good at this sort of thing.
She then like looks over to you. It's all the aether in the air, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've been trying not to do any psionics in here ever since we entered because, well, I believe you just found out why. She
Got it.
offers you a small smile.
Unpredictable results, in other words. Or very predictable.
It's difficult to control something that uses your imagination. When the power of creation's floating all around you, it'll just overload it. Even I struggle with it, so I'd prefer just not to try to bother with it. It may be wise to do the same.
That's unfortunate. Well, it was worth a shot.
So Malt just kind of like begins to like kind of like shuffles by the panel. Bill's is like underneath it.
Starve.
And also, I would like to use another fate charge on Malt. A function to, like, a roll Malt casting in makes to shut off the lightning core will be very likely to succeed effectively.
Yep. And
So Malt just effectively like takes, you know, after several minutes, manages to take off a panel underneath the actual console. So effectively going into the core, she like looks around. Wow,
Eloic steps
this
forward.
is sophisticated.
Eloic steps forward to take a look and also render resistance.
Yeah, you look, you're like, that's a lot of wires. You see as it kind of goes from within it down into the floor, and you see it spread in like all different directions, like a very fine spider web.
It's like
Like,
a
oh, so that's where the power comes from and where it goes.
it's like an ebony spider web or a sea of black spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Malt just kind of gives a faint grin at that. That's a rather apt description.
Technology spaghetti.
Well, this should be interesting. Also, be right back.
So Malt kind of like looks about the mess of wires and like looks up to the console. Now to find which of these turns it off.
Actually,
She like looks
can
through
I-
it a bit, and as she does, sorry, what?
Can I use a Bias of Fate on Malt? I forget whether it's like at her choosing or not because of what she is.
So essentially, as if she allows it, but
Right, but it can be
she'd have
imposed
to
on
be
her.
aware. She'd have to be either aware of it. So essentially, it'll work unless she's actively trying not to do. So essentially, like if you're using it on her in a negative way, she would then notice.
Okay.
So she kind of like goes through all these different wires and like finds a few of them. These ones appear to be a bit different. She spends like another 10 minutes like looking at it before essentially, you know, kind of crawling out of the little space and standing up. Ruby, try that one and then that one. I can't reach. She's kind of like hopping up so she can like see over the console. Ruby like tries the one input and then tries the other. And she's like, oh, it seems to be responding. And then she points at the one she just pressed. Try that one again. And as she does that, you know, the thing just kind of makes like a loud noise and is like, and
Nice.
you see Crystal very slowly begins to slow down over the course of like 5 minutes, before eventually it stops and the energy just kind of dissipates out of it. Like, well, we've stopped it. Now to open it.
Alright, I'm back. Alrighty, so what I missed in the past 3 minutes.
Basically, Ruby, they found a way to get it open. Well, not
Found a way
open.
to
They
shut
found
it
a way
down.
to stop the thing. Now the next step is to get it open.
Malt kind of like looks over to Ruby.
Lovely.
You all might want to stand back. Because if this does what I think it does, standing in front of it might be bad.
Alright, be careful. And,
She once again kind of like goes down under by the panel, like looks around.
so yeah,
like-
we move on.
I think this might do. She does something, and as she does, like all around like the casing of where like the glass is, just shoots steam out, and Walt just like tumbles away. And like just steam just jets out in all directions, like and after about a minute it seems to stop. Malton takes within one of her satchels and kind of like throws something over to Ruby. Try lifting that. And she takes this ostensibly like a thick kind of towel. Ruby then walks up to what looks to be some sort of like a hinge of it that appeared. It was fucking with things.
I don't know.
And then Ruby kind of like throws it up and then steps back as like another cloud of steam comes out. And the mechanism opens.
Nice.
Ruby just kind of gives a wry smile.
You did
I
it!
would have never figured that one out. Great job, Malt.
That's a wizard of engineering.
We should probably give it a few minutes to cool. Because as you look over, there's just heat waves all around it, just distorting the air.
Ashida's quips.
That's...
Somehow I think you're right.
So you all wait like about 10 minutes. And like Nefertong, meanwhile, she's like using gust on it like over and over. Just like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Ashida runs back and forth really fast. No, she doesn't.
The cat ADHD.
So about then 15 minutes pass and well, these are no longer glowing metal, so it should be fine. Walt just kind of like brings a hand to her chin at that last part.
At least no third-degree burns, huh?
So Malt, with her gloves, kind of looks around. Interesting. She then climbs up onto the console and then just kind of like looks into this. Wow. Take a look at this. She like waves all over.
We go over, I guess.
What's this? And then she does.
And so as you come closer, you can see that within where the lightning crystal is just suspended, there's like a bowl. And in that bowl has what has to be hundreds of little crystals. And they all seem to be cut to be aiming directly towards the center. So the ones near the top of the bowl are effectively mostly flat. But as they go to the center, you notice the tips of them all are kind of cut at an angle. So it's almost as if the bowl has another bowl within it of crystals.
Yeah, so it's like shaped.
Yeah, it's shaped in such a way that all crystals are pointing directly at the center.
Yeah.
And you notice the lightning crystal isn't as big as you originally thought. It was just that much energy coming off of it. It's still a pretty big lightning crystal, easily one of the biggest you've ever seen. But you're like, okay, that makes sense.
I'm thinking I'm starting to see just how significant these things are, because a lot of money and effort must have gone into maintaining this, let alone manufacturing them.
Well, this speaks up that something tells me that these are not mass-produced. This is incredibly intricate.
Absolutely
Making
not.
These crystals would take ages.
That is for certain.
Bob then like takes out some paper and like a clipboard and just starts like jotting down all sorts of things as she's like looking into this. She then looks back to you, go, "This might take a bit. There's a lot to take note of." Ruby then kind of does the same, essentially like etching like conceptual art of what it is and kind of just taking notes at all the different things.
Yeah. And I was gonna stick by Malt just in case she can be useful.
So what do you guys do while waiting? Because this is going to take a few hours. them effectively doing intricate notes as they take apart what they can. So this is not going to be quick.
Yeah.
So is there only thing you do, or do you guys just skip on to when you're done?
Well, I guess there's no reason to be waiting around, technically speaking.
I mean, unless like we would go to the go check the other like hallway that goes north, but
Ashi is going to just do a perimeter check for that, I think. In case.
So as you go to do that, the doctor speaks up. I would not wander off if I were you.
Oh yeah, right. She just kind of stops herself. Almost forgot.
I imagine that they would very much leap at the opportunity to go after one of us that get away. Cyrus kind of offers a small grin at that.
Thanks for the reminder, Your Highness.
Near me, though, however.
Yeah.
oh yeah, because of boosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, this place she was talking about, it sounds like it's infested with ghosts. Like, lots and lots of them. They're just like, just piece the fuck out, essentially why she's there.
Yeah. Yep. Just a brief blip. Okay. So we don't do that.
No.
Yeah, so Ashi does not do that.
Let's see.
What's the current puzzle with that?
They're
As we are waiting, I would like to roll insight on Bastofe, Anksekmet, Belinda, and Sakura.
Rolling things.
Yeah. I'm like, what's the current puzzle here? I had to step away from my phone.
Essentially, making notes while dismantling the core for what you guys can.
Alright.
Essentially, not a quick process.
Well, in case I'm needed to help with stuff, also I'd have my fucking journal thingy up and be note taking also.
I have 10 negative experience in insight.
Whack. So, Onsekmet is very hard to read right now. She's been just kind of keeping to herself and sticking kind of near Ashi.
Makes sense.
But you can tell just from her overall demeanor that she does not like being here. You've noticed that since the beginning. She's like, you're pretty sure she would not have come in here if she didn't have to.
Yeah.
Which pretty much is based off of everything plus what she said out in the deep. It's pretty obvious that she is that woman that came from the AAL.
Yeah. It's yeah, circumstantial evidence, but it's pretty damning at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty overwhelming circumstantial evidence. Essentially, it's beyond reasonable doubt at this point.
Play pursuit team. But yeah, that is something that. Yeah, he's effectively just waiting on the report for one fucking Queen to go swim in dirty paperwork.
Yeah, which you imagine you'll probably get by the time you get to the church. Effectively, he's just like, "Hey, where you gonna be in like a week?" You're like, "Oh, Toasty's church." So effectively, he's sending an eagle that way with a bunch of shit.
Or he could send it to my freaking Linkstone too, depending.
You imagine that this is gonna be more than Linkstone can handle.
Alright.
It's just fills it up and be like, alright, you got like a backlog now.
Yeah.
The fact that he said that he's sending an eagle, you're like, oh shit, there's a lot.
Alright.
So you're gonna have like stacks of paperwork. Effectively just in the satchel or eagle's like, here, take this.
Alright. That checks out.
So imagine that there's a lot regarding this. AAL and the different things pertaining to her. Effectively covering all bases.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, as far as Basotep, she looks very interested in what, Malt and Ruby are up to. Kind of like a look of intrigue, like, ooh.
So just curious, like, observing what they're doing.
Yeah, because from her perspective, she has no fucking clue what they're doing, but that's exactly why she's like seems to be so interested.
She's makes sense. She's a bard, so.
Linda is also watching what they're up to, and just kind of like, almost like observing them. Occasionally bringing a hand to her chin, kind of, tilting their head a bit, kind of really watching what they're up to. It's pretty clear that she somewhat understands what they're doing and what they're manipulating. So she has some degree of comprehension of Magitech that's far above anybody else here than essentially other than Ruby and Malt. So she's the only other person that kind of gets what they're doing.
Okay.
And then you have Sakura, who seems to just not care. She's more so just looking over you all than what they're up to. Essentially, she's people watching you all.
All right.
So, suffice to say, she's not very interested in the Lightning Core and what's up.
Is she looking at like a certain person, or like just all of us passively, kind of passively?
All of you all just kind of passively, just essentially, what are they doing? What are you doing? What are they doing? She's essentially entertaining herself with you all because she could care less about the Lightning Core.
Okay. That does make sense. All right, nothing's off so far.
It's like, this is of no concern to her, so she's just like, all right, well, just kind of waiting.
Yeah. So she's just like, she's one of those people who are like sitting on freaking like roadside cafes, just observing people. What you doing? What you doing? Okay. Those are all
pretty
the
much.
I want to make.
She's like, all right, well, I got you all waiting, so I'll just see what you're all doing. So about a little over 3.5 hours. By the time then, you see that Ruby and Malt have largely taken everything out of the Lightning Core that wasn't, effectively bolted to the ground, so to speak. Malt kind of looks back. I think this is the best we're gonna get, because much of what remains is just large panels and other circuitry that, well, I don't even begin to get. We'll probably just break trying to take it apart. You look over there and you notice that there's essentially panels of glass, a lot like Malt has effectively used and manipulated, but the intricacy of them is just above and beyond what you've seen Malt do. It's like, yeah, you wouldn't begin to make heads or tails of that. And trying to take it apart would probably just break the glass and break the whole thing. And then there's the bowl within the AAL, or the core, which they seem to have gotten off, only to find that, oh, there's a bunch more wires and stuff below it. And just like, So you can't make heads or tails of what goes where and what does what.
Yeah, so it's a bit, okay.
Malton kind of hops down from the console. This was very helpful, as this will go far regarding my theory of my own makeshift lightning core. It seems that stabilizing the crystal in such a manner prevents it from overloading. There are a lot of different things to try, but first, we need my lightning core. So I suppose our next major destination then would be Tinkertown to find a way to retrieve it. Though not before going to the church. She just kind of offers a small smile at that.
Right. I try to English before I do anything.
Yes, that would be an idea.
I write down her Malt's theory on that, along with what's needed before I can confirm.
She then kind of like looks around. Well, I suppose next is to destroy what we can of the facility with conventional explosives, because much of the facility that remains is either lead or Ethereum, which both won't stand very well against explosives. So destroying the facility won't be necessarily difficult, so much as it will be laying the explosives about. Essentially, what remains is not very structurally sound against explosive force. So, largely be obliterated.
Yeah, we should also check the northern path we went past earlier, if we can gain access to it.
Wait, you already did.
Did we?
Yeah, Malt went up there. It's like, yeah, you're not getting in here because there's no power, and the TAS tried to force their way in, and it didn't go very well. You know, essentially, they could have probably breached it with explosives, but probably would have brought the facility down on top of them.
Like the Ethereum blaster or the doors that like further north?
No, those doors, essentially, they cut through the blast door, and they were met with the doors that you saw to the south. But judging by the fact that they tried to get in and they couldn't do it, you're pretty sure if they can't do it, you're not going to do it. At least not without power. And even then, Malt's like, yeah, there's no power over here. So it's like, I can't try to like hack into the door like she was doing with the others.
Can't we use freaking Malt circuit again?
Like
Problem
she
is
said,
getting
there's no
the-
power. So without power, you can't do it. That's why Malt's like, well, we're not getting in here.
Yeah, so we need a kickstart generator for it.
Which
Well,
wouldn't,
yeah, and even then, it's like, okay, well, how do you do that?
because something's internally wrong.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so you can't hack into it, you can't power it, you can't open it. It's like, okay, force it open. Well, if the TAS couldn't do it, you're not going to do it. And if you tried to use explosives, well, the facility's already practically coming apart. So that's a great way to bury yourself into an early grave.
Yeah. Okay.
We need to find a scroll of call lightning.
We get out from that grave.
Yeah. We need to find a scroll of call lightning.
And no one knows that I'd be able to, and that would be tedious as fuck to get out of regardless.
Yep. So yeah. That's. Guess that's
Oh
it.
yeah, it's like, you're not getting in there. Like, Mom
Yeah.
took one look at the place and is like, yeah, we're not getting in.
Indeed.
And that's when you guys went south.
Gotcha. Hi. So yeah. Hamla.
It's like, yeah, if there were, power to the place, you could probably just use the card. But, well, can't because there's no power. So it's like, okay, well, now you just dismantled the only power source there was, so you're definitely not getting in. It's like, you could try charges to blow open the door, but yeah, then the facility that's practically coming apart will come apart right on top of you. Or if you're not in the area, it'll come up and apart on the door that you just blown open. It's like, okay, well, there was a door in the way. Now there's tons of debris in the way. So, you're not winning this one.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh well.
Well, I guess we'll just take the both losses and get the crystal to safety.
Yeah.
So essentially, now it's a matter of just planting tons of explosives all over the facility.
Yep. We have
Alright,
plenty full of
engineers.
those. We have plenty of
Alright,
explosives.
Point me where to place the charges, and let's go.
So yeah. So you guys begin effectively wandering and backtracking as Ruby and Malt begin just placing explosives just all over the place.
Yeah, they've got enough of them. LA, we're still holding on to a few.
Yeah, because you guys took a lot from the
Yeah.
guild. Because you knew that you're blowing up a giant facility. You're getting a lot of it. And
Yep.
you know, the guild master's like, hey, we got tons of them. And if it means blowing up the facility so we can mine, you know, take all of it. Essentially,
yeah.
it's like getting rid of this AAL is worth whatever the cost is. Because being able to get to that Ethereum is priceless. So he's like, yeah, take it all if you need to.
As everything's happening, Ashi just quips. Well, it hasn't been the most eventful time, but it's actually kind of a fun adventure.
So Malt's kind of like, you know, putting some things, charges down. She says, as the saying goes, no news is good news.
It was kind of interesting seeing what... hang on. I didn't hear what Lunari said.
I said precisely.
Plus, it's kind of fun to see what treasures were hidden here.
So it takes you guys about another 2 hours to go back and effectively just plant explosives all over the place.
Yep. Create a nice network of them.
As Malt's like earlier though, as she's like putting explosives around her stuff and her gold, she just kind of like looks at it sad. Well, sacrifice had to be made.
There will be more gold in our futures. I'm sure of it.
And I'm mentally like, sorry, Lord Idiok, we salvaged as much of that gold as we could. Just
So
mentally that way.
you find yourself back out of the facility and, you know, towards the mine shaft. You guys can't.
What did you say? You went fishbowl?
You hear me now?
No. That was still the same. Okay, I saw green but didn't hear anything.
Hello?
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah, so over the course of like 2.5 hours, you guys pretty much just rigged the facility to explode in every way. And Luan, based off your knowledge of explosives and that sort of thing, you're pretty sure there's going to be more or less nothing left of this place but scrap, which can effectively be salvaged. But the whole point is to, you know, get rid of any discernible bit of, hey, this is technology that shouldn't be here. So it'll be largely just picking up scrap, but it'll be very valuable scrap.
Plus, it's likely that we'd mess with the ghosts as well, such that they won't be, you know, just lurking around.
The ghosts are going to effectively be blown up. Any of them that aren't destroyed will have no reason to be there any longer. So they'll pass on.
Yeah, precisely.
Any lingering attachments that they once had are going to be blown to smithereens.
Who needs a priest? All you need for an exorcism is sufficient firepower.
Just blow up the house and be like, alright, your move, ghost. There's nothing left.
The ghosts will just more or less scatter, won't they?
They'll pretty much just scatter and then eventually just kind of move on because they're no longer, because ghosts are effectively, you know, beings of the past. You know, they effectively are perpetually stuck in the past of when they died or within that time. So if where they are is no longer what they were doing or where they were, then they just kind of pass on.
Precisely. They take basically haunted
Generally,
space.
they would.
Fucking Death of the Ghost is gonna be like, fuck's sake, more work. Where did all these ghosts come from?
Hehe.
But
Yeah, at least generally
reset
that's what
explosives.
schools like that be.
Oh yeah, and now that stuff seems to be more calmed down a bit between our segments. She's just sticking by boss's step.
Very quiet. She's
Yeah.
still,
Yeah, but she seems to be
it's
at least.
clear that she's very uncomfortable in this place.
Yeah, so sticking by.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah, sticking by the two beauties, boss step and on segment, is what she will be doing. Keeping them company. So what happened next?
What indeed?
Because I don't think there's much that we can do.
I guess there's not much else to do, really.
Yeah, until we leave.
So
Conversations.
essentially, y'all kind of like. Well, it leads you all kind of like around the corner, effectively. And Malt kind of comes up over here. This might be a bit loud. She then looks at Nefertonk. He's like, oh. And she casts like a silence spell.
Yep. We silence.
Malt walks up over here. Pulls out something from her satchel she has. And presses a few things on it, then moves down here.
Yeah, detonator.
And after a few
What are you
seconds,
supposed to be?
the whole area around you just rumbles. Hey everybody, make a strength, or make an athletics check, or an acrobatics check to not fall on your ass
And or you said?
either.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Acrobatics +5. Actually better. So this would be general athletics. Yeah, that's the same. But just because.
Luan, you are not ready for this. And you just fall on your ass. With Chinami just falls on
That
you.
tracks. That
Chinami's like immediately just swept off her feet and just kind of like just falls right on you.
then it's Ashi.
Fucking natural one. What the fuck's wrong with me and rolling natural ones? So
Goddamn
goddamn
also
acrobatics?
is just not ready for this. And just like almost does like a backflip as she just falls down.
Ah!
Nefertonk also just falls over.
Meanwhile, Ashi is doing fine.
Guessing I missed an acrobatic check here.
Onto like on Sekhmet, who managed to just keep on her feet. Yeah, Ashi, you have no trouble keeping your balance.
Yes.
You tried to like catch Nefertonk, but you're not quick enough because Nefertonk was completely caught off guard.
Nefertonk!
Nella just floats up a bit.
After it ends. Or has it ended yet?
Belinda also just manages to
Yeah.
keep onto her feet.
Yeah.
Justice manages to barely while like holding Julia, but she manages to keep up on her feet. Ruby also manages to maintain her balance. Spider Queen just eats shit immediately.
Your Highness!
She was not ready for that.
Yeah.
Goblin.
Once it ends, Ashi's gonna help. I think she was closest to Sakura at the time.
Eventually, Nefertonk. So Sakura kind of like picks herself up and she's like, "Okay, I'm not used to being this weak. That hurt."
Welcome to the life of a mortal human.
Malt just kind of like walks back over there, takes a look around. Suffice to say, it's a bit of a mess. Kind of hear her call out to that. And when she comes back around, she like looks to you all with like a slow thumbs up. That should do it. And nothing caved in, so mission accomplished.
That went.
That's exactly as we intended, so perfect.
A smooth operation from
Now,
start to
looks
finish.
back. It'll probably be a few days to a week or so before all the ghosts begin to clear out. But they won't have any reason to remain, as their lingering attachments to the facility no longer exists. As the facility no longer exists.
She just gently claps her hands together. May their passage go smooth.
Yes,
that-
hopefully they find.
Because that software kind of claps her hands together. All right then, let us return. And she just begins walking back south.
Passage go smooth.
Yes,
Alrighty.
hopefully they find key.
And wait, we move on.
No, here's the question: Will that blast have brought the ultimate chaos that was on one end to the other end of the
Probably.
ground?
Advice to say it's probably not a good idea to stick around here.
I don't know
Well,
where
that part
we're.
was obvious.
Yeah, I don't know where we're. What formation we'll be in. I'm just trying to put them together so we can mass copy.
What?
Well, if we get back to the nest sooner rather than later, before anything can show up, it should be fine regardless.
So you guys kind of like begin making your way back.
I just put them together in the arbitrary order.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Well, just proceed then.
Oh, sure, I guess. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Mwah.
So we return. You all make it back to the colony without incident.
Nice.
And make your way to then the throne room. And as you do, she just kind of moves over and then sits back at the throne. So we're back up over there.
Yeah.
And she just kind of gestures a hand out towards the room. So, she's like, so, feel free to take a look around. And take your time. So, you all have a library to peruse.
Although,
I am looking
she did
specifically
say-
to see if there's.
Also, yes, Yami, you had a thing.
Yeah.
Have
I'm
an area of the books
specifically-
regarding shadow sorcery and roleplay singing.
What?
This.
Oh, that's just a reminder to that thing that was there, because that's what I'm specifically going to be looking for.
Yep.
A book related to either assist with the shadow sorcery or blade singing stuff.
Yes. And the Spider Queen suggested that I let Nefertang know that Ashi has a
Yes.
book on languages that she needed. So Ashi will just kind of approach Nefertang and be like,
Hello.
"Hey Nefertang, I heard you were looking for a book of languages of sorts."
She kind of brings a hand to her chin. Well, Luan Tuhan and I have been putting together what we could about a language. That was quite difficult with what we had, so it's far from being finished.
I can actually help you with that. And she then fishes out the book in question. This
I
one.
just widen as she like takes the book. Where did you? Well, I suppose that's a silly question.
This bishop. Sorry. If I could stop choking on my own throat, that'd be nice.
I feel that.
Yes. I'm gonna need that book back. Once you're done with
He
it,
just
though.
kind of hands it back to you. I shall take a look at it later.
But I'm happy to lend it to you. When you need it. I'm happy to lend it to you when you need it. She flashes her a grin.
Yes.
Yep. And, I think Ashi's going to then ask Uncle, is there any books that you're looking to take?
She kind of looks around. Not particularly. So if you find something you want, I'll go ahead and take that. Kind of offers a small smile at that.
I appreciate that, though. Are you sure there's nothing that you wanted to try and learn more about? Not much of a reader?
She like pauses for a few minutes. Nothing really comes to mind. Unless there's some manuals regarding martial.
Is that something you want? I can try. You can come look with me if you want.
She gives a small nod. Alright.
Oh,
everybody! Make 3 investigation checks.
Yes.
I'm so dejected.
So,
See, Ashi.
alright, Pooh and Starlight, you're both helping me because, hey, you can actually help here, Starlight.
Is Angsakman giving the
No,
help
she
action?
cannot. She definitely cannot.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of unknown knowledge. She can't do anything. She can't even say a peep.
Does Angsakman give the help action to Ashi?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring out my owl bro.
3,
I'm gonna
2d20
ask Spider
each
Queen,
one.
don't have a name for it yet. If she
Two.
knows if there's any books and shadow sorcery in there to assist with my learning on.
She's kind of like, lean, like on the side of her throne chair, just kind of like rests a hand on her fist, and she says, "Who knows? Probably up there somewhere." She just flashes you a smile.
Also, Ashi would be like, we don't find anything.
At least I have food for you.
So it's pretty apparent she's not going to help you guys.
Naturally.
Like, if you want something, find it yourself.
Precisely.
I mean, it didn't hurt to ask. And well, I'm also throwing that there. The rest of the part, those looking for books happens to see, also just point me to.
She's also going to, besides looking for martial stuff, that she's going to try and see if there's anything that that could be fun to teach Anksekmet, essentially. Because we know that she's bad at a lot of stuff, but it might be enjoyable to teach her some other skills too. So that's also going to be included in the set. We started with brewing tea and treating people with injuries. Back in Keycross?
There aren't any. No, no way there's stuff on ALF02 in here, right?
You have no idea.
In that book?
I'm gonna go for a goddamn Hail Mary on that, but if not, those roles are effectively to assist others to find theirs if like they don't find what
I was about to roll Prof Die for the investigation thing, but I'm like, wait a minute, I see a skill, a +5 bonus to my investigation thing, which would mean I can, with the raw number, I have a little bit over twice the maximum result from the Prof Die thing right now. Because I have a total of 13 for that investigation for investi mods.
Well, keep in mind, a bonus applies regardless if you do prof dice or not. It's still the same.
Yeah, it applies the same.
Well, even then though, it would be almost a +11 to the D20 stuffs, as opposed to just the flat 13 to them. Unless I'm getting it mixed up somehow, which I wouldn't put it past me because I still don't fully get this Prof Dice crud.
Well, like I said, whatever bonuses you have, those are completely independent of your proficiency. They'll be the same regardless if you use the prof die or not.
Yeah, I'm just I'm just trying to double check my math to see if I'm right on it being higher without rolling that. That's my hold up here. Yeah. It's 1d6 there. So yeah, I would at most get a +11 if I were to do it the other way. So, yep, I'm right. This would give me better.
Let's see, trying to fix this.
I guarantee you, nothing you do will ever be as good as what your prof die could give you. Because they will, they can go above your average. So it's up to you what you wish to do.
And my dirt.
Well, I'm still happy. I wrote fucking great though on that 31, 32, 32. Because food can help me regardless, as that's an extra layer of advantage from the back.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty happy with this as it is. Unless there's something I'm very much misunderstanding with this, which I don't see how it would be higher than my +13 there.
Well, what is your proficiency bonus, and what is your proficiency level?
I'm only I have a plus. I have this proficiency in investigation, and it'd be a D6.
If you subtract 3, then roll 1d6. But don't worry about it. But yeah, so you rolled pretty good. What is Luan looking for?
He's going around seeing if people haven't found what they're looking for. Those are effectively supplementary rolls to help people find whatever they're looking for.
Got it.
He doesn't really have anything that important on his mind, except like maybe the history of this this place. If there's like a chronology of on this castle, like prior to the Spider Queen's arrival.
Alright. Let's try some stuff.
Alright, so I don't think this is gonna get any better than it is currently. Oh wait, because you're doing, I think Luan's doing something with everyone trying to search for their respective books.
Yeah, like unless I find like I'm primarily looking for for the history of this place.
Yeah.
Well, you find some of that, definitely. There's a lot of history pertaining to this place.
Yeah.
You very quickly find that this place is kind of a big deal.
As it would be.
It was at one point.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
I would effectively grab like the biggest book.
Mm-hmm. So
you find a book regarding the early history of when this place was made. Essentially covers in detail, essentially, what it was. And it was effectively, at one point, a Dwergar, effectively advanced fortress. Back when there was a war between the Dwergar, and this was effectively one of the front line sort of areas. And they had the training area installed precisely for that sort of thing. Suffice to say, the Dwergar of this side won. And since then, the facility just became a training facility. Granted, it was during the time of the war, but it became more so a practice sort of thing after that.
Okay. Pretty Dwergar, of course they were the one.
I got it. We're gonna... in the future, we're gonna use that training facility thing with permissions or whatever as a tuning exams arena.
If only.
Some kid with yes amount of weight on legs is gonna just throw his hands against a sand manipulator. And almost die because of that.
Alrighty.
Alright, so here's something that in particular two people found, and a couple things of interest.
Nice. And then there's Ashi and Shinami, who have like 17 books.
Yeah. Alright, so if nothing else is happening, there's nothing because we're actually gonna... I'm actually going to... Yeah, and I'm gonna post this in discussions. And you guys can have a look at what I plan to ask.
Essentially, there's a couple things of interest. Manuals.
Yeah, those would be here.
Mom found an interesting book on Magitech.
I shall post in play.
Called, and Basatep's like, ooh, folklore.
Manual of gainful exercise. Manual of quickness of action. Manual of bodily health. Tome of clear thought. Tome of understanding. Tome of leadership and influence. So... so you read this book and you gain this permanent benefits, but then you can't use it again?
Use it again for like 100 years or something. It eventually regains its power, but it takes a long ass time.
Yeah, and it's once per... I believe it's once... no, it's not once per person, it's once per...
It's
100
once
years.
the book is used, period, it then goes dormant.
Yeah, essentially. Alrighty. So essentially this is what Elwick plans to approach Sakura with. So that the rest of the players can have a look. Did somebody say something?
Oh, you know, it's like effectively all those companions with you, the NPCs, they all find little this and that
Yeah.
that keep their interest. Except Julia, who's still unconscious.
Could I roll something to kind of finalize the pitch that I posted in play?
Roll persuasion at advantage.
Thank you. And alright, so we're just doing that. So I'm gonna use my inspiration to autocrit and roll prof die. See what is
Like,
20
with
plus.
this thing- I don't know if it's with this when this pitch is done. I'm gonna throw a bias of fate thing to see if it can influence anything one way or another.
Okay. 3 plus. If I could focus. Okay, there we go.
And she auto credit.
Yeah, yeah, D6 plus and. Let's see, what's your prof bonus? It's a 3. So D3. So yeah, for point of order, before I roll, she's gonna approach Sakura. There's some things I wanted to ask you, Your Majesty. A proposal I've been meaning to present you.
She's like, is that so?
Just puts her hand in their chest. Being a seamstress by trade, I'm always looking for means and materials to improve my craft. And I believe the silk you and your children's produce will work wonders for my designs in the future. Given the silk's magical properties, it would have many uses in enchanting. With your blessing, I would like to use your silk to make new fabric for my merchandise. Further, after what Ashi's told me of the potions she's made in collaboration with your alchemist, I'd like to request his collaboration in the future with supplying potions due to their incredible potency for healing. If you'd allow me to continue to make use of the lovely silk your children produce, I'll be happy to offer you something in exchange. For example, we can provide a nest with cattle for meat. We can also offer the nest tools and lumber to build and further develop your wonderful city. I imagine you may have been looking to expand the library until now, so if that's still on the table with your deciding to come with us, a bit of wood would no doubt go a fair way towards having just the sort of bookish retreat one would wish to have, considering the difficulty obtaining it would ordinarily have. If there's concern about surface dwellers knowing of you have me word as a Hembellian that I will not share the nest location. You should know, a Hembellian would sooner leap into the no more stark naked than put a precious business partner in jeopardy. So with this agreement in place, we could always effectively protect the secrecy of this place, with only a select few knowing even who our suppliers are. We could negotiate the specifics, and so long as this arrangement is to your liking, this trade relationship can continue, with us providing and helping the nest out with goods and means on the surface. To be honest, I really like this place and your children, and I'm eager to do something to help. Would you consider it, Your Majesty? And now I roll.
She seems very amused with your proposal.
29.
Oh,
I forgot to remove the 1D, so it's 31.
I'm also trying to unlock other possibility. You said you were auto-critting that, so but I'm still
Yes,
trying to
I just
unlock-
typed it wrong.
I'm still trying to see if I can find. I'm just trying as much as I can with my lesser bias of fate things to see if I can unlock anything here.
So she just kind of like offers you a bit of a smile at that. Well, I can't very well see why not. It'll be certainly something to leave my children in mind to cooperate with such a thing.
Eloic flashes her.
It would be in their interest as with their growing degree of intelligence and curiosity. This would be sort of the thing that they would probably be interested in, a lot of them. And those more charismatic amongst the bunch can effectively interact. So I can certainly see how something of that sort can be done. While I will not be able to supervise it, I imagine you have found a handful amongst my children that you think can do so.
Yes. Thank you, Your Majesty. I'm stoked. As she then extends her right hand towards Sakura, very enthusiastically.
She just looks at your hand with an amused expression. She's like, is this the part where I reach out and meet yours?
Precisely, Your Highness. Your Majesty, rather.
She does so, just kind of amused.
Yeah, she just got. She
This
just.
is certainly a first.
Certainly. It's a first for me, too. But I'm happy you've been taking a step
Awkwardly
forward.
shakes her hand. It's pretty clear that she doesn't do this.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. To a prosperous futures for us both. And Miss Gaspodox bless us with plentiful gains.
It will be very interesting to come back to this colony and check on them in a few years' time and see how they've come.
It will be very interesting indeed.
Though, before that, there's much to see on the surface, much to do. As Luan has given me a handful of reasons why it is in my best interest to aid. Particularly that I owe a handful of this world's gods a few favors.
I see. Well, we'll be sure to show you something worth remembering.
That's gonna be curious.
Meanwhile, this is happening. As this is happening, she's just she's just going over to Bottleflip, kind of nudging at her side, like, "Wow, she actually did it."
Bottleflip gives a large shrug. I'm not surprised, honestly. She's very charismatic and, well, based off what we've seen with the spiders, well, why wouldn't they?
Just a please smile there. You're here.
This has just been a very interesting week.
She kind of offers you like a tired smile at that. You could certainly say that again.
Yeah, just kind of like gives her a wry smile. Maybe we should fit you with some sort of magical gear to help you out, considering all the punishment you've been taking lately.
Oh, I have such. It's just, well, I can only do so much.
Well,
Can't say that I'm much for heavier armor.
well, when all else fails, add more tape.
Be sure to have medical tape on hand. I might need it.
Ella just pipes up. I can provide that.
Also, kind of like looks their way. I'm sure you could. So, after searching for a few hours, you'll find some stuff. So, what do you guys want as PCs? Because all your little NPCs found a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Of tones getting print to their interest.
Yep. So LMH still has the right to pick books.
And Lunari, you find a couple books regarding shadow magic.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, which one?
Yeah. So if LMX doing that, with her proposal being given, she's going to look for books on the matter of the Chronicle of the Chronicle Motor Feats, which was mentioned to her in the meeting with Anaclesi, and anomalies, if at all possible, like such stuff.
Well, you find some books regarding that. Effectively, it seems to be of scholars of times past that have learned about such things. So you're able to find a book regarding that. It's actually pretty interesting, just from the few pages you check, that this seems to talk about the Chronicle of Mortal Fates and other godly infrastructure. And you can't help but wonder, who made this?
Huh. I wonder who made this.
Well, I'm pondering the two books that I found on what I was looking for. I'm just gonna mentally start like, yeah, I don't suppose you can give a suggestion on which one I to pick.
To that, she then says, it is probably best that you find a more earlier one, as your understanding is very basic. What you think about it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, in that case, that's the one I'll do.
Magic into the air.
So yeah, you kind of find like an introductory of shadow magic that goes over fundamentals and basics, because it's like before you can improve, you need to master the basics.
I want to get this newly boosted stuff up to at least up to around the level of blade singing, my level of blade song, before I worry about anything else. I've been neglecting my shadow talents for this long. I need to catch up.
You make a note that you gain a +5 for checks regarding learning more about, or essentially learning the techniques of shadow magic.
Meanwhile, what became of Ankh Sekmet's and Ashi's search for martial books and books on manuals on paraphernalia?
You guys found a lot of the manuals.
Okay, so that was us. Gotcha.
Yep, that was mostly you two.
I forget. So I can put the note thing by the actual part in
Yeah,
the
just
sheet.
like right-click it, then make a note, and then
That's not. I know how to put the note. I'm like, what stat was that? So I can put the note
that
on
would
there.
probably be Arcana.
Okay.
That's the general understanding of magic.
Oh, it's another thing.
And just add next to it the source is Fundamentals of Shadow Magic book.
I'd imagine
You'll be reading that for a bit when you get
Yes.
back to the church.
Yeah. Imagine there's also in the books we've obtained so far. Might also be like on the history of blade dance. Like that might be fun to teach Ankh Sekmet, specifically like performance.
Well, it's blade song, not blade dance, technically, but still.
Yeah, you see that there's a couple books regarding blade singing.
Yeah, stuff that essentially where she can pursue martial arts as, an art form. To kind of have fun with it, not just be like, rawr, fight.
She just kind of like looks at you when you say that, like, she's gonna look like, why would I want to do that? For a pretty easy to read expression, like, what do I need that for? Because you know that Ankh Sekmet is not one for art. In fact, you've never seen her draw, color, or do anything of the sort.
I gotcha.
Fundamental.
Octopath, on the other hand, that's very different.
Yeah.
I
Can ask, just in case.
In the note, there. Which, hey, good thing I could probably get a speed run reading this because, I don't need sleep. So the 3 hours, quote unquote, trancing and then just no.
Pretty
it's
much.
like reading activity.
Does she seem interested at all throughout the time I've known her in cultivating flowers? Or just kind of like a passing interest? Oh, pretty flowers.
Well, you do know that she thinks flowers catch her eye.
Yeah, so
They're pretty, though she's never really commented on them.
yeah, so
Something that you notice.
yeah, so then she'd be like, "Would you like to learn how to cultivate flowers?"
She kind of gives you a curious look. I'm not sure where I'd be able to do this.
If you happen to be standing still for a moment, you could have your little garden. Grow things of your own. Make a beautiful garden of your own choosing. We can have all the types of flora that you would like to wake up to every morning.
She's effectively said that it's like, where would I be long enough to plant something?
Oh, that's what you said. Okay, yeah, gotcha. I misunderstood.
It's like she's looking at it from like a pragmatic perspective. It's like, that sounds nice, but how would I use it?
Fair point.
See, then Bosso Tip kind of like comes along. Oh, flowers and such. Well, try this. She like shows like a book of like botany and flowers and stuff of times past. Effectively, what used to be on the surface before it was washed away.
And it's got like illustrations and whatnot, right?
Yeah, like a whole bunch of illustrations of different flowers and plants.
Ooh.
So effectively, it's a botany encyclopedia of plants. And as you like look over it a bit with like Onsec Met, and you see that there's some pretty wild looking plants and flowers that used to exist that you're pretty sure don't anymore, because they would really catch the attention of florists and such.
Some of these are amazing.
Onsec Met just kind of manages a small smile. They're very pretty.
Thanks, boss of app. She turns her for a second.
She gives a thumbs up. Glad I could help.
I think this could be a good book to
finds another book on different languages.
Yeah. So she's gonna hold on to that book that boss of gave, because yeah, that could be a cute little thing. She's like, whenever she is about to go to go trans, she'll be like, look at this for a bit. Oh, pretty flower. So yeah, that could be useful.
So yeah, you guys pretty much find what you're looking for, because there's a little bit of everything in here.
Yes. Alright, so Elavik has books on Chronicle Mortal Fates.
And since you have a book on Chronicle Mortal Fates and other godly infrastructure.
But Chronicle of Mortal Fates.
As it talks about the library, the Hall of Dreams, the Hall of Memories. It effectively just tells a lot about the library of the chronicler, which is very fascinating. You can't really, like, who was able to pen this?
Whoa.
Who was up there that did this?
Yeah, and I doubt that it just has like a...
The level of detail here is splendid. And does she learn... Is there any mention of any situations where, like the one that essentially Anakliti described, where something is wrong with the
You'd have to read it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I haven't read it yet. Derp.
Yeah, so you figure that if something like that is anywhere, it might be in a book like this.
Yeah.
Because as Anaklisi said, it's like, oh, I don't see these people in the Chronicle. That doesn't sound right. So you think that it might have something to make mention of what might make someone disappear.
Yeah. Because she's previously looked into spiriting in ways via Fae and disappearances via aberrations, so
Yeah,
this is the next step.
Actually, based on what Maria said, it sounds like this is something above that.
Yeah.
Or something above your basic Spirited Away.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that concludes all the knowledge that we want to have. And who's gonna put that in their inventories? Their Tome of Understanding and Leadership and stuff.
Well, so that's just what you found as an option.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Although Justice took the Gameful Exercise book.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
More strength.
More strength. Oh yeah, because we can only pick one. Correct. Tome of Clear Thought is +2 in score and maximum.
My suggestion to Justice is actually to learn dexterity because to help balance that out. But
Yeah, she's like, more strength. She's like, why would I need that? I have plenty good balance.
Let's see. I think Ashi would take the Tome of Clear Thought or Understanding. Let's see, make more sense to be Understanding, but I think probably the Tome of Clear Thought. Like that's the official book that she picks, because I believe that it was kind of like you have all of these extra books, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least not yet.
Essentially, that's effectively for you to learn and spread the knowledge as well. So essentially, it's a gift slash a job slash, a task.
Yep, so Ashi will hold on to the Book of Clear Thought.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and Luan, from your book, you gain a +5 to rolls regarding Dwergar.
Nice.
Yep.
So like freaking.
So like history, yeah, like knowledge history checks regarding Dwergar +5.
Yay.
Nice.
Essentially, anything pertaining to Dwergar.
That ought to be fun when we get to Dwarfland.
Yeah, you imagine that'll come in handy with dwarves.
We're moving up in the world, literally. Hehe.
Actually, Luan, roll 1d20 and 1d100.
That is a 4 and a 3.
Like,
Interesting.
Oh, let me check some.
Well, that's interesting because the D20 is low, so is the D100. It's really low. It's like 2 off.
So it's kind of average.
Evens out.
Oh, nothing special with that.
Damn.
Alhamdulillah.
Thanks for playing.
Thanks for the money. Hehe.
This is why I don't go to casinos. They're all a scam.
Yeah, they are. The house always wins.
anyways,
So, yeah. What happens next? Because I'm not sure.
So essentially, you all find your books that you're quite, happy with.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you guys are done with that, Sakura kind of like sits up from her throne. All right then, I believe we are done here.
It looks that way.
at least as far as I'm aware.
It looks that way.
Suffice to say, the noise that we all made back there has drawn the attention of whatever wants by elsewhere. So we should be able to leave at your earliest convenience.
Well, I'm pretty much able to whenever the rest are, so
Yeah, because right now it's like afternoon.
Mm-hmm. See, I was just... Yeah. Ellie just needs to let, because at this point we do know that, she has a successor, right?
Yep.
Yes.
we know.
Yeah.
The successor's been settled. The
Yes.
Only
Mhm.
thing
AL
before
been
leaving,
up.
get whoever one is going to be in charge, that's being left behind, that's going to be in charge of the trade details here.
Yeah, so Eloic's just going to quickly let her know of the discussion that went on here.
Yeah. So essentially, Sakura takes you to a giant spider, a very big one.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, that's a matriarch. They're kind of fucking huge.
Yeah,
It's
she's
like they're like twice the size as the hunters.
she's grown a bit since last I saw her.
Which is like 8. Yeah, that's like.
Yeah, because I met her, I do believe. Yeah,
It's
Eloic
like
did
8
meet her.
times 8.
No, you've effectively met one of the like headhunter spiders. You haven't met this one.
Ah, because I thought you said that I've been in her company before. Like, she was the bigger one during a lot of the interactions with Morty,
I
etc.
don't believe so. I don't recall.
Yeah, I have it in my
I
notes.
think we've
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah,
I
I have my
think-
notes here
Essentially,
that
you recall because she's bigger than all the other spiders.
a nameless queen, faced by the monarch, a female's faced by the conflict about choosing a name. That's what I put it there.
Yeah, that one essentially. So yeah, you'd speak with this one again. I
Mm.
can't remember, but yeah. So
Yeah.
big spider, you talk with her, and she's like, "Oh, it's very interesting."
Mhm.
So she effectively kind of makes note that yeah, this seems like a lot of stuff that would help the colony, especially what with the direction one of them are going.
Very good.
I was going to ask after that
Mhm.
thing was proposal was accepted by Spidey Queen or whatever, but I got distracted by certain loudmouth furball here. Like, would you mind if I were to inform my sister? She is the divine champion of Lord Idiok. Going over his titles just in case. She might be able to provide some secure or whatever with that. For that end.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Like, to officiate it, essentially?
Yeah, to assist in officiating such a trade relationship between them.
Yeah, I can tell Kiki, like, hey, I've got a job for you. I hope you like
Well,
spiders.
Before I do that, though, I'm I'd be asking the Spider Queen if she would object to that.
She seems no reason why not to.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna mentally fill Kikon with the details here.
Mm-hmm.
She's less than thrilled because she doesn't like spiders, but she'll live.
Even
Yeah,
less.
and well-
less
It's like, what spiders?
Fuck off spiders.
Yeah, it's like, what's the little man-sized spiders when you have a lot to gain?
They're not even man-sized. They're like
Most of them are.
the huntsmen
They're
are
the
like
size of like fucking
4
horses.
times. Yeah, they're like
Don't
4
worry.
times
Oh, yeah.
fucking halflings.
Don't worry, sis. They're only extra large, smart face spiders.
Uh-huh.
That are kind of fucking like that are categorically the size of fuck you.
Yeah, they're the spiders you don't want to find because they're big.
So Alex is all smiles. I'm glad to hear that.
And
It's a pleasure doing business.
So, I would have given Ellie the description of Keek, whoever, who will be coming down at some point after we leave to officiate that on this or whatever. So that they know who to look out for with that.
Yeah.
So your deal and advice and whatnot are duly noted. So,
Yep.
with y'all believed to be done, it is time to head for the lift, I believe.
Yes, to finally get out of here.
So let's take a break, because I'm going to go get some food. I made a snack earlier, now I want some actual food. So we'll take a bit of an extended break.
Yeah, it's also a shot of adrenaline. You do that.
So we continue.
Yeah.
So with y'all having, found your books and whatnot, You begin to set back out for the surface.
Hmm.
And make your way to the lift. Which there is a whole lot quieter now. Probably because Spider Lady with you, and because you drew attention elsewhere with lots and lots of explosives.
Yep.
I just find it funny that we
There is a feast
we
over there.
actually skipped the first dungeon.
Yep.
But the dungeon, it's the meme. It's the meme.
I don't
The
suppose there's
the
any.
real dungeon was the travel here.
The real, maybe the
I don't
real
suppose
dungeon
there's
was
any-
all the friends we made along the way. Also Hades.
I don't suppose there's any hook or blades I can kind of grab on the way from that would have been left behind from all that constant fighting.
Nothing that you see.
Yeah, might have just been.
Pretty clear, judging by just the general area. A lot of fighting's happened around here.
Whether it's been
Understood.
taken or just kind of pushed further along somewhere.
Certainly keeping an eye out for any though, just because hey, the more the better off we'll be.
Yeah.
Are there any like regalia or like enchanted clothing or that kind of stuff around?
Roll investigation.
Well, yeah, we're gonna
This
yeah
isn't gonna be a rush 5, is it?
say. Yeah, I think Ashi's also going to keep an eye out and look for our stuff on the way. If that's okay. Brrrr. So,
Take away 3 from that, so that's plus 10, plus 1d6.
Bukot is still out, but I'll effectively just dismiss him once we're like on the list.
I'm just gonna do a foo. I'm not because I'm not looking for anything I'm not looking for anything specific. Actually, I'm just looking for anything that could be of any value or use from the battles. And I'm gonna fate charge myself.
thank you. Thank you for upholding the meme.
A 28 on my check.
34
So you
now.
look around and you don't really see anything. It's mostly just signs of battles that had happened.
Uh-huh.
But any remnants of whatever was once here has been moved away for one reason or another. Either to be eaten or to be salvaged or whatever the case may be.
Okay, worth a shot.
Alright.
Pretty barren.
Yeah, the sand. This.
I wasn't really. In fairness, I wasn't counting on anything. I was just hoping for a little extra.
Yeah. This Ashi's 34 affect anything?
Well, you can't find what isn't to be found.
Yep. Just making sure. So she's extra uber certain there's nothing there.
Yeah, you're fairly certain there's nothing around here.
I just love the.
One time, but
Yeah.
certainly not right now.
Yeah. I just like that I rolled a natural 20. It's the meme.
Does my nat 20 force something into existence? Kidding.
Alright, so what's left of the console, which isn't necessarily much, Malt effectively just like takes it apart from the base and just starts like manipulating the wires within it. Then makes her own little glass plate effectively just enough to tell this thing to move. And it takes about an hour, but Malt eventually gets it and it starts to go up. It's a bit wobbly though.
Oh boy.
I just keep in and out.
Looks around. That's not concerning.
She's kind of. She just kind of shoots her a bit of a dry smell. I don't know. Seems definitely kind of as concerning to me. It's kind of like sarcastically.
It should be
I'm gonna
fine
take-
to make it to the top, though it probably won't go back down. At least not without some serious maintenance.
Just in case something goes off though, because I can actually fucking do spider strolling up and down the walls just fine. I'm gonna take Julia's unconscious body so I can quickly salvage that to allow Justice the freedom of movement or the freedom to better react to stuff also.
Yep. Elamic's going to hold action to grab Malt and use Rising Tide if something goes wrong.
So as you get up and go about halfway, the shaking gets even worse, and then just feels very precarious.
Oh boy, wouldn't that be a way to end? Wouldn't that be a way to end this little adventure for all of us to plummet to our deaths?
Belinda just kind of shoots you a wry smile. Well, not all of us anyway.
Cheater.
Hey,
If you're gonna
it's
leave,
not our fault. It's not our fault that not all of you can Misty step on and just go up the wall.
Belinda kind of speaks up. Well, I don't need to worry about that or anything because I can just fly. She just flies up a bit above the lift as it's going up.
Meanwhile, it's like Lauren's like, I could jump to the wall and clutch onto it, but I have a fucking pink bag with me.
Large pink handbag, a suitcase.
Exactly.
In fact, to take some weight off of this thing, I'm just going to be
clutches onto your arm at that.
It's like,
in fact, to help take some weight off of this thing, I'm going to just start going up the wall, keeping pace with it, with Julia's unconscious thing secured to me.
Well, you don't think that your weight is what is adjusting it? It's just essentially the mechanical bearings have just been warped due to all the fighting that happened on it.
Probably, but still, that way I don't have to worry about trying to use a reaction on this thing. Correct.
So, by the time you guys finally make it to the top, it sounds like the thing's going to break at any moment. Suffice to say, you waste no time getting the fuck off of it.
alright, let's get off this thing. Move it.
Well, it seems so RGB in place, but it's probably not going anywhere anytime soon.
That was a bit nerve-wracking.
Mentally let Keek know to take the ladder until that thing is fixed.
Yeah, she's like, duly noted, I ain't getting on that.
Well, we did it.
Yeah, so you all make it back up to the top. What do you guys do?
Well, we have the rest of to meet up with the rest in the guild. I believe is where we on this thing. I believe.
Like Olivan's team and everyone.
Well, they're back at the town doing whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they've been back now for a week.
Yeah.
so we need to catch up with them too.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Well, anyone have any business at the Thieves Guild?
And they wouldn't be the one, if I recall, they wouldn't be the ones to work in the raw resources like these blades I salvaged. Am I correct?
We could report back. Yes. We could give him a call and report back. Technically, turns towards Sakura. You probably should stay behind if we were to go there. Because while they're...
He just kind of gives a small grin. But where's the fun in that?
If you're certain, these are some... They are a thieves guild, so they're not above more shady dealings. Even if we dealt with them previously and...
I'm not too concerned.
Alrighty. Alright then.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if it was said that they wouldn't be, the guild themselves wouldn't be too fussed about the raw resources like these blades or not.
No, it's more so something that could be used as a tool because they're pretty durable. But as far as any other, they're not very practical for any other use other than tools.
So probably not. So I'm guessing find someone else to give those to, then or sell them off to, I should say.
Yep. Or refine them.
Yep. Probably be able to refine them at the fucking at Tinkertown, I'd guess.
Well, there at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Or at the very latest, sorry.
So yeah, we could go there and potentially. Well, it's been a couple of days since we left, right? Like at least 3 days. At this point.
What's that?
Since we left the Thieves Guild.
It's been about a week.
Yeah, that is a long time. So yeah, that might be a good idea to come there and see
I
if we
believe
can.
it has been 6 days.
Yep. So be like, hey, we're still alive, and we solved the problem, and
So you then make your way there.
yeah, yes, if everyone's okay with doing so, because we have goods.
Yeah. I mean, it's also on the way, also, so it's just convenient.
Right?
Well, if anything, you can take the Thieves Guild and then go straight into town from the Thieves Guild.
Yeah, so that's very convenient to that end. So yeah. So I think we.
So you guys make your way over to the lift, and Malt uses her own little password. She inputted it again, although this time it gets a response, and the lift starts going down.
Nice.
Very good.
Since they now know, oh, it's her.
Yeah.
It's like,
And it feels nice to be on a lift that's not precariously shaking.
Indeed.
yeah, for once. Huh.
So he gets to the bottom of the lift after a few minutes, and you guys begin walking through the really long tunnel. But it's rather peaceful. You know, it's certainly better than being in an area with monsters in all directions. It's pretty quiet up here.
Finally, I can take a breath.
Yeah, for the first time in like a week, you all are finally able to just relax, knowing that you're not about to be ambushed at any moment.
Yeah, because although the nest is cozy, it's also, adjacent to all of the other thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's that too. You're still underground, surrounded by monsters. You're just in with friendly monsters, but there's still monsters everywhere.
Hehe, indeed is.
Yes, it is nice to have some quiet while making around.
So,
I swear that I had something written for this. I don't fucking find it.
after several minutes, you finally make it to the end of the tunnel, and it's pretty much as busy as you saw it the first day. Although, as everyone kind of like looks over and notices you, they kind of go on guard briefly, but then they're like, "Oh, it's them."
It's us, guys.
Go back to what they're doing.
Yep. Oh shit, it's kind of does that just do. It's us.
We're not the. I was about to say a joke, but it wouldn't be in character. The joke wouldn't be one that I wouldn't know about in character. We're not the droids you're looking for.
Yeah. Indeedos.
I'm not my fourth wall breaker right now. Don't make jokes like that.
So you just kind of like make your way up the ramp, find the pit boss guy up there on top, kind of like looking over some stuff. Oh, here you are. I would say back so soon, but it certainly hadn't been soon. Been wondering if something happened to you.
We have been busy.
In a matter of speaking, something did, but nothing too negative.
We've been busy, little bees. So we have. And so we have.
That's a bit of an understatement, I'd say. A lot happened.
His vision then kind of like trails over to Bella, then to Sakura. Two new folks, huh? Oh, no worries.
Didn't mean to. No, okay.
Well, he said no worries. I'm not gonna. If you're not gonna question it, good. That means we don't have to answer it.
Yeah, don't.
Repeat thing. Oh. There we are.
Good.
Like you can tell, he just assumes, well, you have a reason to be here.
Hehe.
Good. It's not like, who is this? Oh, just a freaking spider queen that's ancient.
Huh?
Just the former queen of the spiders. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, that's above my pay grade.
It's like, I don't care.
I'm not paid enough. I'm
So
not paid enough to deal with just. Okay, you're with them. That's all I need to know.
So he just kind of like dressed into the door. Go on and head right in. Looking for Gomo, I imagine.
Yes, is he in?
He
I
should
know.
be in his office.
Good. Thank you
If the
kindly.
doctor had
For the practice customer service now.
So you guys then make your way inside. And find your way to Gomo's door. What do you do?
Well, we need to. Well, courtesy knock first, I suppose.
So yeah, you hear him call from in, come on in.
We enter. 3.
So y'all make your way into the big comfy office. Bella takes a seat at like one of the little sofas and just melts into the seat like, eh.
Hey, we made it back. In one piece,
No one
mostly.
just laughs at this. I see 2 new faces with you all. How did it go? You were gone a while. Honestly, we thought you might be dead.
We picked up some stragglers to make up for the pieces we lost. Kind of holds up her metallic arm.
You're just like, oof. Yeah, that's rough. Let me guess. So he points at you. Hook horrors?
Yep.
Precisely.
Yeah, those things are fucking dangerous.
But on the bright side,
Thankfully,
got
so are
some
we.
valuable. On the bright side, we got some appendages, but the smithed out. Got some stuff to work on once with access to a forge and all that. So, but that's a project for later.
You kind of get to look at recognition. Oh yeah, those hook horror blades. They're pretty tough when treat heated. Get a smithy that knows what they're doing, and that's a pretty tough tool.
Well, certainly. There's one I plan on having forged into being a great sword. Yeah, great sword. I plan on having that big blade reforged into a great sword for myself.
We were also hoping that maybe in a week's time you've had time to stock up on your inventory. Inventory? Yeah, I don't know what
Well,
that's.
stuff always comes and goes. Free to check with the quartermaster when you're done, though I imagine you have business with me, seeing as you are here in my office.
Yeah. Well, first,
see.
one thing I would recommend anyone that goes down there not to take the lift until it gets repaired.
Kind of raises an eyebrow at that. Oh?
During our business there, let's just say a bunch of stuff decided that what made a good impromptu arena.
Malton continues from that. Suffice to say, there may have been a bit of collateral damage in the fighting from us getting off of the lift, and whatever else happened to fight around it over the past week. It's a bit precarious. I would highly advise having maintenance take a look at it before anybody uses it.
It was a blooming miracle it even managed to bring us all the way back up.
Kind of like points there. Duly noted. Thanks for the warning.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
I'm not all that surprised considering what's down there. Frankly, like you said, like points towards you, Linary. It's kind of amazing you got up.
Well, at least two. I forget if both of the bullets both of the initial bullets jumped onto it, or just one
Yeah.
made it on.
Both did,
Well,
although you immediately killed one.
Well, at least 2 of those giant bullets jumped onto the thing when we were on our way down.
That's not concerning. Though, by the sounds of it, you handled it well. Well, mostly. Kind of like glances to Ashi's arm and leg.
Well, we all have legs and heartbeats still, as far as I'm aware.
But yeah, don't worry about the lift. Mining equipment's always getting broken around here. Kinda comes with the task. You know, digging down where a bunch of mutated creatures are, they're gonna break stuff. So he's kind of shrugs. So how did it go with the AAL?
The AAL is SOL.
He just laughs at that.
What does SOL stand for?
Wordplay here.
What does SOL stand for?
Shit out of luck.
Okay. So basically we're saying like we didn't find anything there, or what?
The AAL is SOL, so it's not looking so good.
He just kind of grins. Yeah, it's sort of stuff that you really don't want anybody finding. I mean, I only know of it because I have access to records of old sorts of things. So, between you and me, no one else here knows about it.
Well, it's relatively easy to clean up that which doesn't exist.
This is very true. Though I imagine there'll be fun scrap laying about, so people can draw whatever conclusions they want to. Because it's need to know and they don't need to know.
But frankly, could be chalked up to making the underground stuff could be tied to making sure the rest of the area is secure from those dragons, which that popped up, which make a convenient scapegoat.
Speaking of which, the other companions made short work of that.
So I heard.
So that's 2 major pains in the ass taken care of. I imagine once the monsters down there settle down and we get the lift fixed, we can get back to mining.
As far as I'm aware, because yeah, I remember that the spiders were just ignoring the miners.
Yeah, so they kept their distance.
Because after all, why invite trouble? As far as I'm aware, as soon as things quiet down, yeah.
Hidden links between you all. Well, it looks like we'll be working together for the foreseeable future. Your sister had a bit of news, and an offer that we really couldn't refuse. Not that we'd want to, but also couldn't. But hey, gives a shrug. I ain't complaining.
So you already know.
So essentially, once you all get ready to, take care of South GCZ here, head our way. We'll be working on some things to help you.
Sounds good.
Seems like the Owl decided that this is going to be the new capital.
Right,
Because the old one's probably not going to have much left of it once you're all done with it. It's practically a fortress. So it's a shame, but it'll have to largely come down.
There was a nudge towards the fucking operator here. You got that written down in your thing?
We'll have to salt the earth to create new life, but
because you know what GCC is. They like to protect their points of interest.
That
which is precisely why.
Fact.
Sorry, go on.
That is an unfortunately well-known fact.
Yeah, which is precisely why this will be the staging area for the war. Because, well, there's not going to be much left of the capital when the forces are done with it. It's just hopefully there won't be too much civilian damage. However, you do gotta watch out for that other guild, because they're gonna be probably the biggest hassle you all have. Though we'll help you out with that when the time comes.
It is ironic, though, that for the wisdom or whatever that is the wisdom that they never learn not to put all eggs into one basket.
Well, from their philosophy, it's easier to watch one basket than it is a handful of them.
Right, so based on based on the situation right now, the Thieves Guild, like they're firmly our allies at the moment, right?
Yep, essentially, Idiako's like, I'm gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. Literally.
Yeah.
But not that you'd want to. So it sounds like he made a pretty good deal with Gomo, essentially, that what with this being the new capital, that's gonna be a whole lot of new business for them. So certainly in their interest to, work along with you all.
Yeah. So, what else is there in this paper?
So he kind of like looks between you. Well, it seems like the plan is to return Rosalia to the land that it once was. Long before the conquering of it. Because Red Dragon staged a revolt here, a rebellion, quite some time back. I think it's like 2 millennia or so. And then it became a puppet state after that, once they then conquered it. So the idea is to return it to the locals, what it once was, country Rosalia. Or at least that's what I'm aware of right now. You'll have to ask your sister for more details. Kind of like looks your way, Lunary.
Oh, I plan to.
Yeah, suffice to say, they've got a plan, but, I only got what I need to know. I leave the complicated stuff to, those who handle that sort of thing.
Fair enough. I'm sure she's gonna interrogate me for extra details.
Well, south comes first and foremost. West, I don't even want to think of that bloody nightmare.
He just kind of gives a wry smile at that. That's going to be a whole heap of fun. It's pretty bad over there.
It's a hellscape is what that is.
And that's certainly one way to put it. He just kind of gives like a nervous chuckle like, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, it could be worse.
Like,
it could be It could be worse. It could be an abysscape.
Yeah, at that point you just scorch it all, salt it, and call it a day.
Unfortunate, but true.
Well, I try to have the outside look that things could always be worse.
Yeah, though once the situation's settled here in South GCZ, we'll also be able to help with efforts in the West, but it'll largely be a whole lot of restoring here for the foreseeable future. Though that's after we manage to, take control over the place. But hey, one step at a time, right?
Well, restoration should be the relatively easy part, besides making, general pocket. But restoration is the easy part.
Yeah, he just laughs at that. You're telling me. Just gotta get there. Though, you all have a plan, so you'll just have to fill me in the next time you come by.
Yep.
Though, before you go, he kind of points his finger between Sakura and Bella. So, who are these two, if you don't mind me asking?
About
I
that.
don't believe I recognize either of them.
About that. And also, I wanna.
You're not with us, right?
Yeah, she's with us.
She's a lot older.
Well,
Yep. Yeah, she's a lot older. Lot older. He might not have recognized her.
Bella gives away. Wait. Oh, I'm like, was here before, except for, a bit shorter. He's
Yeah,
like,
you might
"Wait,
say-
you're that little girl? She's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I, totally was a little girl until very recently.
There was an encounter with a Wraith down there that aged her, and while we had means to restore, she chose not to.
She's like,
To put
wait,
it
there's a
simply.
fucking wraith there?
Well, it was connected to the AAL.
Oh, fucking glad we didn't go down there. Those things are a hassle.
And they weren't your ordinary Wraith cyber.
Let me guess,
But-
organic?
Those AALs operate in Aether. So,
There must be some fucking evil bastards down there.
That's the
mm,
general consensus of AALs, yes.
Yeah, from what little I know, they weren't exactly sunshines and lollipops down there. So I guess it kind of goes with the territory.
no,
Go
I'm
on.
pretty sure it's always going to be the next AAL that's going to have that, I'm sure.
Gomo, give me one fucking example where sunshine and rainbows is seen underground.
You just
Yeah,
kind of gives it an instant shrug. You got me.
Hey, if someone's playing around with illusions down there,
Let's see. I'm gonna post another
So
draft.
then kind of continues from there. So like, one of the ghosts like spooked me real bad, and next thing I knew, I was like this.
yeah,
She like holds out her arms. Though I'm kind of like happy with it because, well, I didn't really like being a kid, so she gives a small shrug.
that's fair enough. But I figured, I wanted you to at least think about it, just to be sure.
Fossil Tep like looks to Sakura. This is she gives a difficult expression. She like looks to you, Luan, as in like, I think I'll let you handle this.
It's like, oh, you know, nothing big. Just an ancient queen spider. That's mutated by Aether as well.
He just raises an eyebrow with a look like, the fuck?
To be fair, she could probably wipe this entire guild out if she wanted to with a single glance, but, you know, nothing dangerous.
Well,
You get a small
No
ape.
need.
Hello. I am the now former queen of the space spider colony that's down in the mines. Nice to meet you. He kind of like gives her a skeptical look for a few moments. Then a look of realization, like, holy shit, you're telling the truth, aren't you?
As
Damn.
yeah.
He just kind of like looks surprised, like, shit.
Yeah, that's not what you expect to see. And yeah,
who expects this, Em?
indeed. So yeah, I also posted something in Play,
Kinda like,
which is
point the finger towards y'all. You care to fill me in a bit on these details? Because that seems like a need to know that I need to fucking know.
Well,
So, what's the story?
can I have your
How to explain?
indeed.
you know, instead of worrying about the
Gotcha.
just
What?
exactly what, just give the rundown, just the summary of what happened in as much of the need to know details as possible. Because it's been a whole week of stuff would take quite some time to just explain in one go.
Yes, that'll be that'll be.
That'd be a mention for later, essentially, once you have something. Essentially, some stuff that you can give as an example, like this.
Yeah.
I
So
think that you can't really pitch that until
You're
you
now.
have something to show.
thank you. Gotcha. So hold on to that one. Thank you.
So yeah, just my thought is to just give a summary on the need to know business on what came down there because again, a whole week of activity would be too much in one go.
Yeah.
So, take a few minutes to kind of explain the situation. Gomo seems really surprised at first, but then kind of intrigued as, you know, kind of finish up. He's like, not gonna lie, that's kind of fucking impressive. Not to mention, you know, there's some valuables regarding space spider silk and so on. But yeah, you know, setting up some stuff for trade, like some extra cattle. We got plenty of land around here for grazing, and in fact, it's kind of perfect.
And well, I'm not
And
sure. I
point
hope-
two, Ellie, look,
Go ahead.
you little girl know what you're doing.
I should hope so. I am a Hemberian after all. There you go.
True. Kind of gives you a grin at that. He's like, oh yeah, that's right.
We know mercantile. That was not in character.
I'm just gonna offhandedly think. I hope they continue trying to practice the archery that we started teaching them, because that would be very useful, handy for hunting and not all. Did all the advantages they have.
Not to mention keep the place cleaned up of other creepy crawlies. You know, the less staff down there, the better.
Suffice to say, this has proven to be a very, very helpful situation for us all.
Because, like, given the day, I could come up with a shit ton of potent uses for space spider stuff and archery, even though I'm not even that knowledgeable in archery as an area. Like, I can workable and whatnot, it's just not my specialty.
Beneficial situation, well, there you go. I forgot words. It would be very, very beneficial for us all. Huh.
Which reminds me, we have the size. What?
Try that again? What did you say?
It reminds me of. Do we have the plans or whatever for better sized bowls for them? Drawn up yet?
Kind of like points at you.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. Also, Tep then kind of like hands him some papers.
Yeah.
So these are some ideas that I had in mind based off of working with them earlier. Kind of like looks them over. Yeah, I'll have some Fletchers take a look and see if they can make something like this. This is certainly quite oversized, as in I can't think of anything other than a giant that might use these, but, well, if you say that this is what could be used, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
And I'll hand over the practice arrows that I had carved out of wood on there for them that are the right size.
As we're having these
So he
discussions,
takes
you know.
that as well and adds it with the paper, you know, for reference.
Yeah. As we're having these discussions, Eliwick is just occasionally glancing at Sakurai just to make sure like this is to her liking, like everything's proceeding perfectly fine.
She seems kind of amused by the whole conversation.
Yeah. Nice.
Help getting it, itching being knowledge on current stuff. Just been out of the web of current events, pun intended.
Yeah. Making a contract with surface dwellers. That suffice to say, it's a novelty.
Yeah, that's certainly something. So he like looks to Eliwick.
Not many people can say that.
Oh yeah, so regarding stock, well, you can always check with Hetsepsit and see if she's got anything new. I haven't been keeping track of that lately. Been pretty busy, what with the new arrangements that the owls put on me.
Got ya.
He's kind of like gives an exasperated sigh. Yeah, as if I didn't got enough work, but hey, pay off in the long run, but it is what it is.
That it is. I'll be sure to.
Did they ever say when Hupsetsit joined the Thieves Guild?
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, I'm looking at my notes, but I don't see anything.
Yeah. Ashi would actually... Wait, no. Ashi didn't know. Luan knows more about the situation, right? Because Ashi doesn't know specifically.
About what? Sorry.
like when we were looking at how Chipchu and Basoteb interacting, Ashi rolled okay, but Luan rolled better to kind of discern the potential relationship between the two.
Yeah, you're fairly certain that that's a family member.
So he will ask Gomo. Speaking of that quarter mistress, what is her story? How long ago did she join the guild, and how did she come to find you people?
He just kind of grins at that. Oh, that's a bit of a long story that's actually a lot shorter than you'd think. She then kind of looks over to what's her face? Did you
Busted it?
Yeah, or Onsekmet. If I'm not mistaken, that's her mother.
Wait, Anksekmet's mother?
Yep, that's what he just said.
What?
Busted it?
What? Yeah, in fact, Ashi said that exactly.
I need that fucking AAL file, Quinn. Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, Ashi said that exact same time as Luan. Probably like, what?
Gomo just kind of looks surprised, like looks between the two of you. Is there something wrong with what I said?
Luan just immediately snaps back. No.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
go off on a limb and assume that was unexpected.
What?
Considering how old how old Ansekmet is, and she's from an AAL, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's a big deal. Ashi doesn't know this, but
700 years old.
yeah, Ashi doesn't know that, but she does find it surprising because like she had no idea. In fact, she'd be like, I had no idea, Seki.
In fact, I'm going to inside Gomo on that, so he's not bullshitting, because I doubt he's lying, but yeah, I'm just gonna in fact I'm gonna inside the trio. Bastel, Tepang, Sekmet, Gomo.
Roll insight.
Seem.
Meanwhile, I'm just working on a shopping list at the quartermaster while waiting. This is just me out of character here.
Ooh, nice. Actually positive experience and insight. Holy shit, what is this?
So you look at Onsekmet, you know, she has a very faint, like, ghost of a smile. It's a very small one. When he looked her way and said that was her mother. Basotep looks genuinely surprised, like, wait, what? So her expression's a lot like yours. It clearly she didn't know this. As far as Gomo, seems to be telling the truth. As far as you can tell, he's just being forthright, as in like, oh hey, it's this, she's this. As for you, Ashi, Onsekmet's a little hard to read right now, in regards to what was said. Basotep is genuinely surprised, much like you are.
Yeah.
So with Gomo, he seems to be telling the truth from what you can tell. You know, that appears to genuinely be Onsekmet's mother.
Huh. And my other question, how long ago did she join the guild?
So that what you ask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thinking back, it was 6th, 7th century ago? Maybe a bit before that?
What the fuck is this woman? That matches up too well. What did you do, Azu?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
What the fuck did you
Yes,
do?
you do. Yes, you do.
What the fiddly fuck did you do with these people?
She's a senior member. She just sounds like a senior member then.
Yeah, she's been here for quite some time.
What?
I remember you saying that.
Centuries ago?
Yeah, I remember you saying.
She's been around the guild now for about, about a century and a half. I've been guild master for about 40 years.
I see. Just almost like a
You can
fan.
tell by the look at him. You know, he's about a little bit past middle age for a halfling. Still got lots of years left, but you can tell that he's been around.
I remember you saying that, and this is in character by the way, I remember you saying that the guild was established some 1,000 years ago now.
Yeah, about 1,400 years ago or so, give or take.
Oh, so it's not as close as I remember then. With how far back it went, I almost thought she could have been like a founding member or something.
No, she's been around for a long time, but not that long. I mean, she's an elf. They live a long time, but they don't live forever.
Out of character. I'm just gonna say this out of character. I would not say this in character at all. Some do.
Hehehehe.
And I believe she is a sun elf, so yeah, they live about 1,200 years.
That is super interesting.
I have honestly no idea how old she is, and she won't answer that question. If anything, you'll probably just get a glare, so I don't advise asking.
Well, generally,
You
it's
should never ask
considered...
a woman their age. You'll certainly never ask an elven woman their age. That's a great way to get your ass kicked. He just kind of grins at that.
With most cases, looks at Belinda.
She's just kind of like, I will neither confirm or deny this.
Meanwhile, I don't see the shame in admitting one's age, but teach their own.
So how old?
How old are you? 7 trillion years.
So how old are you, lady? I just kind of slyly asks Lunari.
I'm good. Directly answer. I'm good with the fact that I'm gonna have to reference my sheet because I don't remember the age I put. I remember it's considered young. I know it's considered adult by precisely 248 years.
Oh damn,
Well,
you're younger than I thought. Yes, Ashi did say that. You're younger than I thought.
I don't know if I consider that a compliment or an insult. So,
She just shrugs.
Let's give a soft laugh at that.
Was that house? Is Anxakma still like okay? Is Gon's like keeping her in the corner of my eye.
Yeah, she's just kind of like watching everything happening.
Yeah.
See, with the mention with Hot Steps,
congratulations!
her mood seemed to improve slightly.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Ashi! You earned yourself something that's on my shopping list.
What?
Well, you'll find out.
Okay. Okay. We're doing this. With the prank war. Let the prank wars begin.
It's just
don't come near me with a fucking 17-foot pole with that shit.
I don't know if I'd consider it a prank or anything, but it's you'll find out, and it'll be more funny for you to be surprised by it.
So Malt then kind of gets up from her seat, walks over to Gomo's desk, kind of like reaches into her satchel, pulls out something. We found a few things of interest down in the AAL. And she places like a few of the different kinds of the bullets that y'all found and slides it across the table towards them. He takes a look at, holy shit! Is this what I think it is?
Oh yeah, we did find these.
Well,
In fact, I think it's exactly what you think it is.
What would
depends on-
fire this stuff? Holy crap! I
What-
hate to be
what
on the
would-
receiving end of this.
Luan would pull out from his bag of holding the fucking, the totally not
This one
AR-15.
look at it, just like goes the whistles like woo.
This.
That's. I would not want to be on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, it's
So it sounds like that AAL was what, an arms research facility?
an R&D, yes. And, well, we got what we could. Naturally, these took precedence since, well, you can't put a price on something that's priceless.
You give a small shrug. Well, this kind of tech is way above my head. Kind of like slides it back to Malt. Though I'll keep this in mind because we have a lot of industry around here. So if you need something made, just let me know.
We'll be sure
I'll give a
to.
small nod. I will be sure to do that once we take a closer look at it. Because if these sorts of things can be mass-produced, it will be of great significance against the Red Dragon. He kind of like gives a smile. That's for sure. Yeah, keep me posted. She nods, and further moving back to taking her seat. So is there anything else anyone has to say?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so, as, yeah.
No, but Luan will go, like, once we leave, Luan will go back and get Upset's link stone. Because, what the fuck?
Like,
So-
I'm going to stop by the quartermaster also because looking for some stuff there also.
So you go through the halls back to where you recall that you were escorted.
Actually, no, because I will bring Shinami, and I will tell Shinami as we're walking, hey, Shinami, I want you to look into Upset's soul. Once I talk to her. This is this is curious, to say the least.
So she gives a nod, and y'all then make your way over to the area where Hapsetsuit is. And we get there, you notice the place is pretty empty. Like, a lot of the stuff that was there, no longer there.
Huh.
And she's just kind of like looking at a ledger, going over the small amount of things that are there presently.
Hi there, Miss Hapsetsuit. Hi there.
You notice her ears kind of like perk up before she then like looks your way. Oh, hello. Luan Tuhan, right?
That's the guy.
Her vision then trails over to Tinami with a look of surprise. Don't see many of you folk outside of your home.
Imagine Tsunami would just kind of nod with a small smile.
Yes, well, she happened to well, come to us via teleport due to a bit of a mishap that happened.
Kind of
Yes,
like raises an eyebrow at that, but doesn't say anything.
He got hurt. Is what Tsunami says.
She's like, I see.
In fact, I got the case of the deads.
She then like glances over to Ashi and her missing arm and leg. Sounds like you had a bit of a rough time. She abruptly cuts off as she looks at Bella before pointing it. Weren't you like a little girl the last time I saw you? It hasn't been that long, has it? She just kind of grins.
Well, it was
Well-
no hyperbolic time chamber down there.
It may have been 6 days for you, but for us it's been 50 years.
Yes.
She then kind of crosses her arms. Well, based on what I know from these sorts of things, I can only really conclude that you encountered a ghost, didn't you?
Ashi is poked.
Yeah. Those ghosts did this, but
Right on.
She kind of Hopsetsu raises an eyebrow. You don't want to get that fixed? And Vela shakes her head. Nah, I'm actually like totally happy with this because being a little girl was like super inconvenient. And well, this isn't. She then like does a twirl and says, "It feels great." Hopsetsu gives her a genuine smile at that. Well, so long as you are happy, I suppose. Everything is a silver lining.
Apparently she's a lot more energy now. Which I definitely I think is a definite plus.
Yeah. Hopsetsu nods. She was pretty small, so I can only imagine. I mean, not that you're that much bigger now. Yeah, she's like 4'10" now, so she's still fucking short.
Hehehe.
She's super short, but not like crazy short. Suffice to say, she'll need some help reaching the top shelf.
Suffice it to say. It's a good thing she has a big sis cat to help her with that.
Like, Ashi, can you get the flower for me?
Will do. Because Ashi may not be the tallest girl around, but she knows how to jump.
And she can jump and climb.
Yeah.
Hopsetsu then pauses, kind of like looks around. Well, you kind of caught us at a bit of a bad time as far as, well, stock goes, as a bunch came through and purchased stuff before going on their way. Suffice to say, I don't know the full deal of what Gomo's up to, but, you know, a lot of our guys really stocked up lately before heading out to do some stuff. It's not my place to ask questions in regards to this. You know, that's Gomo's business, but kind of like she like crosses her arms. Something big's going down, I know that much for sure.
Does it sound like that's, for the DCC efforts or something else?
You imagine so. You imagine Gomo probably gave the word of, hey guys, shit's about to go down, get ready.
Got it. Well, it's good. Well,
in that
it
case,
was worth
my
a shot.
shopping list is gonna be taken elsewhere in the town after we do the debriefing with everyone else.
Yeah, no point in reserving any goods at the moment, I don't think. As we could just simply,
She then makes mention, well, y'all can always come back and check before you head out. You know, shipments come and go, but it's really hard to say when and what.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how things go in this business. She just
Isn't
kinda
that the
smiles
truth?
at that.
Isn't it that the truth?
That I'm very well aware of. Not my first time dealing with in these sorts of organizations.
She then looks to Luan. Oh, I'll let you know if anything happens before you go.
That's appreciated. And he then digs into his pouch. Oh, speaking of. And extends the link stone. Might I have your contact information?
Sure. She then takes her link stone, like holds it out and taps it against yours.
Yep. Eloic also. This.
You can tell at a glance that that's an expensive link stone that she's got. Kind of reminds you of the one that Malt has, but not quite.
Yep.
Malt's is, you're going to be hard pressed to find a better link stone than
Yeah.
Malt's.
Yep. Eloic as well. If you don't mind. Just puts,
Not sure.
Yeah.
From what I hear, you're quite the little business venture.
Then you've heard right.
She just kind of grins. World travels fast down here. Weird.
That I am not surprised.
Hot shit.
She then says, well, thanks for swinging by, and sorry I can't really help you more.
No worries.
There's no problem.
Don't worry about it.
But hey, if we ever do need, business and quality ingredients, we know where to stop by, right?
Well, we're pretty picky about what we come and get. If it ain't of good quality, we just pass it on.
That's how it should be.
Quartermaster. What if she...
So she just kind of like goes back to like reviewing her ledger.
Alright. Well, the only thing I can think of I want to do before going before going to the debrief is picking up that spell scroll of Alter Self I had ordered before we went under.
Hapsatsu gets the look of realization. Oh yeah, you all don't really know how to get out of here, do you? Here, I'll show you. She kind of like waves your direction with her ledger before she heads out down into the hallway.
Oh yeah, that is.
It's like, oh yeah, how do we get out of here?
We would like walk a few hundred feet like down the corridors. We're like, how the fuck do we get out of here?
Well, it beats the long way that we would have resulted into otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So you go through a few corridors before you reach stairs, and it's a large spiral staircase. Kind of like goes on up. You know, a few good stories by the looks of it. So you're pretty far down. Though when you get to it, to the top, you find yourselves in, you know, a seemingly abandoned building that's in the totally not shady part of town. And then she kind of gives a small wave. Feel free to come and go through here.
Alright.
Thank you graciously.
She gives a small nod before heading back down.
Well, good tidings to you then.
Yeah, and now she gives her a wave as well. She goes off like, doop. See you around.
Likewise. She pauses for a moment once Onsek Met stops by, and the two share a smile. And then she heads back down.
What the fuck is wrong with these three?
Yeah, it's like, you need to tell me the story sometime, Seki. And that just gives her a kind of wry smile about.
She just kind of gives a small smile and says, "There's not too much to say, really. You're almost correct. That is my mother."
Inside.
Yeah.
Roll inside.
Yes, I will lose.
I'm giving myself triple advantage on this.
Okay, 2d10 plus 2. 24. Suck d20, but excellent prof dice.
Wait, no, because I get to roll the prof dice at advantage, don't I?
Yes. Not that helps. Technically, you'd roll the d4 at advantage, too.
Technically, yeah. Okay, that's 2 more. That's 33.
Well, as far as you can tell, Ashi, she's telling the truth. Luan, she's definitely being forthright.
Well, it's more so,
Your mother.
well, it's, to be clear, it's more so essentially like how that makes her feel. Saying that, not so much.
Well, you can tell just by her expression and how she said it. She seems happy.
Yeah.
So clearly she's close with her mom.
Oh. I would then look at Shinami, kind of like, did you catch anything?
Yeah.
Like, without saying it. How's she looking? How's the pink bubblegum looking?
She looks contemplative. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Alright.
Meanwhile, she's just like, are you kidding? You didn't, we spoke with her before, and you didn't say she was your mother. It's the first time I've met her. It's kind of a big deal to me.
She has like a small bashful smile. It's something we don't really talk about much. Because I don't see her that often, but it's always nice to see her.
Well,
It's
that's
something I don't really think about that much.
That's good to hear. I love getting to meet the family of people that's important to me. Alrighty, and so type in Chinami's stuff, I presume. I'll pause. So Chinami leans in close and tells you, that woman is a lot older than she looks. Way older. Easily over 1,000 years. If not 2.
Jesus.
Considering she looks like she could be on Sekhmet's sister, she doesn't look old at all. So even if she was 1,000 years old, she'd begin to start looking a bit elderly. But suffice to say, that is not the case.
She should be dead.
Yeah, she should probably be dead, not
Dead.
looking like she's in her 20s. Like, relatively speaking.
But looks like could be Ankh Sekhmet's sister. Then, like, I have a mental link with Shinami, yeah? Because of the,
Yep.
freaking...
Because the talisman.
Yeah. I would then ask you the talisman. She's not a true soul reincarnation, is she?
No. Is the
Anything
answer prompt
anything
answer?
else weird with that?
So, based on what Shinami tells you, effectively, she's, like, this is her first life, you know, quote unquote. So she's definitely not a reincarnation. Like, Shinami can tell that.
Yeah.
So she's just old. Unnaturally so.
But she's unnaturally old and she looks like she's freaking 20.
Yeah, she looks like she's in her prime. Which should have been in the grave by now.
Shinami just hears
Ow.
this, like, this just, not exasperate, but just desperate in her mind.
Yeah, because these elves' math is not adding up. It's like,
Yeah.
Sekhmet should be dead. This woman should definitely be dead.
Yeah. And she basically doesn't age. She's the same as Ankh Sekhmet in that regard.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
put money on the fact that she's ageless. That or she
Yeah.
ages very slowly. One of the two.
Yeah, has to be. Either is either ageless or ages stupid slow.
Yeah, so that's basically what you gathered.
Okay.
Just a little tidbit, nothing too special. Heh.
Jesus. I was not expecting that.
Mm,
At first I thought you misspoke. Like, you mean Pasteltep's mother, right?
Yes, quite the team.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
turnabout.
See. Well, we have to end pretty soon, by the way, so I have time to eat.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that you're all out and about in town, what do? Well, Lunari goes and grabs a scroll. What do you do after that?
I think we should probably head to the inn to see what the others are up to, really.
Probably. There's not another business that I think we really have need to make at the moment. Stuff like restocking can follow later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about something. Was there time following? No, there wasn't. There wasn't. We did take a long rest after the spa and everything, right?
Well, yeah, because you took a long rest in the middle of the facility because putting all that stuff into Malt's chest was a bit of a workout and took several hours.
I mean, before then, essentially.
You had the effects of long rest thanks to I forget who was it. One of the gods is like,
Yeah.
here you go.
Yeah, I was just wondering if she probably didn't have the time to visit Alchemist again, just make a quick new batch of stuff.
No, because
Yeah.
you would have essentially gotten the process of doing so, but then the queen's like, hey, we're all going to AAL right now.
So yeah, that unfortunately had to be abandoned. But hey, at least Alchemist probably doing work until next time I see him.
Yeah.
So there is that.
So you then make your way to the end.
Yes, I believe so.
Alright, so you just kind of cross town, head over towards the end. And you don't see anybody, at least you don't recognize any of your companions out and about. So then you head on to the end. What do you guys do?
Let's see. I would probably head over to
Eh.
the 3rd floor to give a debrief to Lord Adelheid, I imagine.
Alright, so as all you, go into the lobby and, check in at the front and begin to go upstairs, you hear kind of a yelp from Chinami, like, right behind you / beside you.
Huh?
You turn around to find Arnold, like, clutched onto, like, the back collar of her dress, like, lifting her up. You got work to do. Let's get going. Chinami
Come on.
holding her arms out towards you, like,
Come on.
Leave me.
Come on, we've done so much work already.
Save me.
We've done so much work already. I had to go. I had to help him, and I'm so exhausted.
And now you're back, so you can get back to work. You think this workout's gonna do itself? No.
Lord just kind of like stops, looks at Chinami being fucking dangled by a goddamn Christmas decoration. And Lord is like, well, I would help you, but unfortunately I don't want my face being thrown through a wall, so good luck, Chinami.
She just looks at you with the most betrayed expression possible.
She's like, no. You feel a small like sting at that one, but she'll thank you later.
Yeah. And as I'm walking upstairs, I'm writing in my book, like, the first check Chinami makes against exhaustion, she makes a triple advantage.
Aw,
That's
good.
cute.
very nice.
That's my first fuck with Lockhart,
Yes.
or Chinami charge.
I think the funniest part about that is essentially she'll be like, well, I'm not tired yet. And Erno's like, oh, you're not tired yet? We better crank up the heat. No.
Oh, you're not tired yet? Then maybe I underestimated your stability and your endurance. So let's keep going. And I was like, no.
What have I done?
Oh, you're so good for Mar. Okay, let's keep going. Good job. Maybe we
She
should
can't lie.
into this every day. Then
She can't lie. She's gonna be dead. Oh
she'll just
god.
like, you later, like just like fall on you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what's wrong, Chinami? Like,
She's
dead.
intimately familiar with the boot camp of flowering fields now.
Yeah, she is.
She's suggesting her the exact same thing.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god. I feel bad, but at the same time I don't. Because I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
So you then
Oh my
make your way
God.
upstairs and find yourself at the suite door. Before then, Bella just kind of opens the door, just walks in.
And as like one follows, like, and give two raps on the door as it's open.
You just like announce yourself.
Yeah.
So y'all just kind of like come into the lobby area. You just kind of wait, and Confidence comes in from like the east, and then he like stops like mid-step after walking through the door and looks over you. He like looks immediately at Sakura, as in like new face, and then cranes his neck over to Bella and does a double take. What? He just pauses, as in like clearly speechless, visibly speechless.
It's like,
Does he know who that is?
And then just turns around and goes back through the door.
Does he know who that is?
yeah. I bet he's going to get Adeline.
And from the south, the door he came through explodes open again. And Isimos runs in. You're back! Runs up to grab Bella, but stops. Who are you?
That's Bellissimos. Just a little older.
Also just sits on the couch, leans against the backboard, kind of just like, oh, this is going to be a good popcorn view.
Isimos like eyes her like dubiously, as in like not quite buying it. Bella was like yeetaw, like goes like a foot down with her hand.
She's still got the fang in the left corner of her mouth.
Well, you know how teenagers grow. They get growth spurts, Isimos.
She eyes you just like can't tell if you're like fucking with her or not. Poor Isimos. She's not very smart. She bombed her intelligence and wisdom checks just now. She's just like sus.
Oh no.
She's not buying it.
Why
So
don't you
after a few seconds, the door opens to the east again. And Adelheid walks through and looks around.
Oh god.
He also immediately notices Sakura, like, and just pauses as he looks to Bella, and just silently stares at her.
Insight.
Roll insight.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to roll
Actually kind of like waves at him.
Of course I rolled good on this. 31.
Again, we're in sync.
He's visibly stunned at what he's looking at. You can tell that he is, for all intents and purposes, stunned by her beauty, effectively. Because you know that Bella, she was cute. But as she got older, she's very beautiful.
Yeah, she went from very cute to very beautiful.
Yep.
It's like, actually, can I do something?
What's that?
It's I want to like, can I like nudge Bella to be like, hey, do a twirl, and then I want to give her like triple advantage on the charisma check, on the performance check.
She like pauses for a moment, then kind of like grins, pinches the sides of her dress before then giving a twirl around. And a really fancy one at that. And then she kind of stops and gives a bow.
I love it claps.
And she has a fiery blush on her face as she does this. She's like, I'm totally back.
Yeah, Lawrence, I'm saying shit. He just sees how this goes.
Adelheid still hasn't moved. He's just like... His surprise has now gone to like disbelief at this point.
Lord Adelheid, Lord Adelheid, what happened to the nobles etiquette?
Yes, excuse me. Welcome back, you all. You can tell he's visibly flustered, kind of trying to keep his composure as he like addresses you all.
Yeah. Also,
behind him, just kind of covering just a shit-eating grin with his mouth. His hand. You can like see the corners of his mouth behind his hand. He knows what's up.
Indeed.
It's a fucking troll.
Ashi's walked in with a metallic arm and leg.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Confidence seems to notice that. Well, at least most of you are back.
Yes.
This kind of points a finger at him. What a bit of a surprise smell. You get it.
Yes, we
You know,
experienced
Adelheid
some...
just now noticing this is like, oh my.
Had a bit of a run-in with the Hukor.
They are particularly nasty beasts from what I've read. And judging by what Luan Han mentioned before, they'd be mutated creatures. Suffice to say, they're not to be underestimated. Kind of brings the hand to his chin as he like looks over your arm and leg.
We did end up in a rather, well, bloody bout with some of their elite, and experienced some bereavement, but we came out on top in the end.
Hopefully we can get something done about that when we reach Tosi's church.
Lady Tosi is, well, unparalleled in healing. I'd imagine she'd be able to do something about this.
That aside, boy, do we
she-
have a story to
like,
tell you.
Summit had mentioned that, you know, she owes him a favor. So he's like, hey, I'll call on that. Essentially, Summit's like, I got you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, you'll be fixed up once you get back there.
Yeah.
I just got back.
Looking back.
What I miss?
Nothing much is that we're...
Bella.
Yeah, he's seeing Bella. He likes what he sees, doesn't know what to do with it. And Isamos doesn't believe it's Bella. Or didn't
This
believe.
is like some other person.
Or just
She
didn't.
eventually came around after Adelheid made mention of it, so she's like, oh.
Hmm.
And then she grabs Bella into a big hug and just like squeezes her and like lifts her off her feet. It's good to see you're back. Just like twirls with her. Bella's
Yeah.
like, nice to see you too, you mouse.
And then Bella just demonstrates that she's almost as strong as Isamos herself now.
I'm gonna send you a thing. Besides that, I'm gonna send you a thing that Linnea gonna pick up on the way back. Besides that spell scroll she had ordered or whatever.
So Adelheid then kind of like looks you over a bit, looks at Sakura again, then like looks to you, Luan. Suffice to say, I imagine you have much to report. So I'll inform the others to meet up later this evening because, well, it seems like we both have a fair bit of news.
I'm rather excited to hear what you people have accomplished on this side, considering the last report I got was the last contact, in fact, I had with anything on the surface was with Olivine, and that was via Linkstone.
Suffice to say, things went quite well in that regard, and they found some rather interesting things down in that lair. Suffice to say, the dragon had a horde, a rather sizable one, which will go far in our efforts. He just kind of gives a bit of a smirk at that.
That is wonderful news, Lord Adelheid.
We got quite a haul of our own. Be fun to compare.
Quite. He just kind of gives you a grin at that as well.
But in the evening then.
Yeah, so we'll meet back here a bit before, or just after dinner.
That would be 4-ish hours.
Yeah, in about 4.5 hours.
Uh-huh.
Excellent. Well, until then.
Well, I'll begin making preparations and inform the others. So we shall see you then. Both Confidence and Adelheid head back into the East Room.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she's just gonna find Nefertung, but we'll handle that later.
Yeah. And Luan would head to the Doria Duo's room.
Okie doke. And that is where we will call a session.
Yep.
Yay!
I didn't
Each
Nefertung
of you
are all
make
of them.
mention of what you're doing next.
Yep,
and
essentially.
I'll get to that.
Yeah, I'll get around that. I'll pick up on there next time.